Get ready, get ready. The Lord is coming soon, and it'll be faster than this. You heard me now. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Oh, thank you, Lord. Get ready, get ready. The Lord, and it'll be faster than this. You heard me now. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Oh, thank you, Lord.
Lord, nothing I did, nothing I tried, nothing I smoked, nothing I snorted, nothing I drank, no man I did, no one did me, nothing did me any good. Oh Lord, even that the food I put in my mouth wouldn't help me, Lord.
Can do for you what nobody else can do for you. What would you do? Oh, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. The devil tried to block me, tried to stop me, but no. Tried to steal my blessing, but God said, oh no. I'ma send some angels to help my remnant. They're gonna see my goodness in the end time like never before. Devil, do you really think you can stop them? You can block them, devil. Do you really think you can stop them or block them, devil? Do you really think you can stop them or block them, devil? By the power of the blood, you are defeated.
What's going on, family? Peace, everybody. Beautiful people. Beautiful people. I'm not going to be able to hide my grin tonight, all right? What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's entering, walking down these church aisles, all right, in stable, settled, empowered vibes, all right, optimistic vibrations, all right, guys. There might be a lot to say before we get into the service, but for the most part tonight, we get into that new moon influence in Gemini. There's a lot going on in Gemini. Happy solar return to all my Geminis. Happy solar return to all my Geminis in the building. Shout out to them twins. Shout out to them mental maniacs. Shout out to them evil geniuses. Shout out to y'all, man. All right. Those are my cousins right there. Those big cuz, little cuz right there. All right. Sometimes cousins get you into trouble. Sometimes cousins save your ass. All right. But you love them at the end of the day. All right. So shout out to everybody in the building. I'm gonna just go ahead and let y'all walk into the aisles. Like I said, just a couple of things we gotta catch up on, and then we're gonna get right into these influences. Y'all know the vibe. Y'all know the vibe. I know it's been a while, but y'all know I always hold this environment up to a certain standard. So y'all know the vibe. Let's not act like we ain't been here before. Let's not act like we ain't been here before. Let me see some blood of the hood. All right. Let me see the ashes. Let a good brother know you're in the building. All right, family. We're dealing with that new moon in Gemini energy. So the number for today is 3. Let me see them 3s. Let me see them 33s. Hell, put a 333 in that mug. If you're feeling that spirit. All right, put 3 of the mugs of the 3 in that mug in the chat thing. All right, family. All right, so we're gonna have a good one tonight. Okay, let's go ahead and bring it in with a little thing. Let's bring it in, y'all. Let's bring it in.
Under the blood, me say me under the blood. Jesus cover me under the blood. Me say me under the blood. Jesus, you may cover me under the blood. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood that Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me, I go break up, put the blood on me face just like a makeup. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood that Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me heart break up, put the blood on me face just like a makeup. Under the blood, under the blood, Jesus cover me. Jesus, you will cover me. Say under the blood, under the blood. Jesus, you will cover me. Jump on this. Listen, Christian a fight some things with them not see. Stronghold demons and principality. My body at the temple, keep it holy, sanctify, justify, give God the glory. Fighting against three terrible enemy. The world, Satan and myself against me. Want the anointing, pour it on me and make me trample the devil on it. Say.
Family, today we're going to be talking about thought power. All right, we're really going to dive into this Gemini energy, okay, because this is an energy it's easy to get lost in. All right, shout out to all the air dominance in the building. Shout out to all the Gemini dominance in the building. I mean, you may not have that sun in there, may not be your solar return, but you might be a Venus, Mercury, Mars, stellium in Gemini. Your whole mother flipping. I'm trying to clean it up, yo. I'm trying to clean it up. Your whole mother fudging experience is one episode after another. All right, I already be knowing. There's a lot going on when them twins is up in that chart. All right. So shout out to everybody in the building. Once again, go ahead, take your eyes, go ahead, throw them threes in the chat, throw that blood. I see the holy water. I see all that good stuff. I ain't see no plates, though. I ain't see no white plates in the comments. So act like y'all know what it is, family. Act like you know what it is and get ready. Get ready, family. Get ready.
Get ready. The Lord is coming soon, and it'll be faster than this. You heard me now. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Oh, thank you, Lord.
All right, Ashe. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. All right, shout out to everybody in the building. Family, Zal, Kurz, and Cosmos in the building. Vibrational Wellness TV. Yeah, a good brother's back. All right. Astro Girl Quay, Sacred Artist, good sister. Hit the heart chakra. That sister with her energy be hitting this thing right here. All right. Sister Trace is a man. Listen, I miss y'all already. Y'all family, y'all know what the vibe is. Y'all know what the chem. I see ya. All right. Good sister Leah. Good sister Aquarius. I see ya. Sister Knowing. All right. All right. Okay. Yeah. This is gonna be a great service, per usual. All right, guys. Sister Knowing, Bora, love my reading. Late but dope. Thanks again. Shout out to the good sister. You know, it brings fulfillment to a brother, knowing that you found some clarity and confirmation in that. All right, family. I see y'all all in the building. All right, let's get to the bottom of everything. So basically, guys, y'all already know I was off YouTube. Okay, so some people didn't even realize they kicked my black self up out of here. All right. So some people think I went away or wasn't just posting, for a time. No. YouTube terminated my account for a little bit for no reason, didn't tell me why. And then whatever, that just threw me for a little loop. And then eventually I got it back. All right, guys. So that was part of the hiatus. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'll be as transparent as possible. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It did throw a brother for a good spiritual loop. And the funny thing about it, this was the same week Jupiter and Uranus was conjunct. So leading up into this, I've been bigging up that transit all year. I've been bigging up that transit all first quarter of 2024. And I just knew how much potential it had to place a lot of us in positions where we're able to break free from certain restrictions, find a certain spiritual confidence, and then embracing things with our individuality as far as those things resulting in how we're going about certain aspirations, making certain decisions with things, career decisions, creating certain things. So I just knew the fruitfulness that could come out of the transit. But then again, when you look at Jupiter and Uranus is dealing with power control issues. It is a energy that frowns upon attachments and anything that holds it back from being free. So I just knew eventually I started processing things and I started realizing I could say these things, but we have to make sure we have a wise way of reacting to situations that may restrict our sense of exploration around these times. All right. Some of you guys may have, depending on what house you have, Taurus and Gemini, and may have ran into certain blockages with certain things that you may have wanted to create, connect to others, invest into in some type of shape or form within the past couple of months, past month and a half. All right, guys. So basically, that's just what it was. I was really trying to, y'all know me, man, big cap energy. So I was really trying to just work through it. But then it got to a point I couldn't even concentrate on readings. I couldn't even concentrate. All right. I couldn't even really focus. I was trying to act like it wasn't a big deal. Then once I realized it was a big deal, I was just in my room staring at the ceiling. All right. So I am, to be as transparent as possible with your family. Like I'm a bit disappointed in myself and how I reacted to the situation, especially knowing what times we're in. All right. So I feel like I let it kind of get me down a little bit too much, and it affected my productivity. It affected my attitude towards things, and I allowed myself to be weak. Like, I don't believe in external forces having power over us. You know, I truly believe in spirit being the sole conductor of in every circumstance, regardless of how you attracted the circumstance, how the situation presented itself to you. You attracted that mug in some type of way. But our response is everything. That's why the moon is the most important thing in the chart. All right. We could try to be seen and adjust our ego in any type of way we want with the sun. Your response is everything. Your response is everything in life. And it says a lot about your character. So, like I said, I was a little discouraged in my own response to the situation, because I felt like I should have just, especially in knowing, being conscious of the times that we're in, being able to just persevere through everything, find a way to just, all right, move through the obstacles and keep it pushing. But me, y'all know me, I don't play victim. It's just that this life of mine, this Saturn life of mine, I kind of get used to doing that sometimes. I get used to knowing I'm hurt about something and be like, all right, I'm gonna just work through it. All right, we just gonna I didn't feel like doing that this time. I genuinely did not feel like doing that this time. All right. I could come up here, family. We could get into church service. I could get back in my bag. We could do what we do and which we gonna do. But I was not gonna fake the funk around that time. All right. Wasn't gonna fake the funk around that time. Anything that you put a lot of time into, you put your heart into, and the opportunity to expand it gets taken away from you, that could be discouraging to any spirit in this human experience. So that's simply just what it was. And another reason why I was disappointed in myself, because in this time period, and this is really the meat and potatoes of really what I want to say before we get into service tonight. In that time period, the way y'all was showing out really moved me. So I felt like I wasn't showing up for y'all. All right. The way y'all was flooding my DMs, my emails, that was really one of the only things besides me trying to just, show gratitude for everything else in the world, and in my life. But y'all really showed out, and y'all kept my spirits very high around that time. Like literally every single day. I thought you would have thought it was my birthday the way my phone was going off. All right. I've even developed some real personal relationships with a lot of people in the church. So, y'all was there. Everybody was there as a support system. So, like, I ain't even trying to be soft out here. Like, that shit really moved me. Your brother might shed a little teary thangy thing right now, but we ain't gonna go there. All right. I'm a Scorpio dominant, but Scorpio be trying to be the gangster water sign, trying to act like it ain't got none of them emotions. Scorpio be shedding them thug tears. Yeah. I love you too, man. Yeah, nigga, it's all right. It's okay to feel away, brother. All right. So shout outs to y'all. Y'all was just showing out. Like I said, I couldn't even concentrate and focus on a lot of things. So I pushed so many readings back, and y'all gave me so many grace. Y'all gave me so much grace. Okay. And I just knew that I had to express that before we get into anything, family. Like, so when I'm up here and I'm being intentional about calling this a church, a community, and treating it like that, honoring like that, in that time, it showed me that this is what that really is. This is really what that really is. All right. And I have no intention on slowing that up. Okay. But, I even had some great advice, people telling me, somebody close to home telling me, like, God, you have a great support system. Like, your church really look out for you. You don't have to feel like you can't jump on right now because you're not in the, you're not happy-go-lucky, the lucky Libra in some type of shape or form. Your community fuck with you. They're going to love the transparency either way. And I already know that about y'all. So I just want to commend everybody, whether it's probably a message I might have not seen or something, but just know, like, that shit hit the heart chakra, something different, family. I genuinely, sincerely mean that. All right, guys. I hope everybody's been well. I hope everybody's been doing their best to navigate the different waves that we've been having to swim through in the past month and a half. All right. Pretty much the last time since I've connected with the church was around the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. All right. So a lot been transpiring since then. And I have so much to say and so much things I want to talk about. So that's another thing, right? There's so many things I want to catch up on, right? From hip hop to politics to a lot of trends and patterns going on in the world in general. Okay, but y'all know in some type of shape or form, I'm always going to condense everything we talk about towards seeing how we can manipulate the energies to work in our favor in our personal lives, right? We want to be aware of the world that we are physically amongst, but make sure we're creating that spiritual environment for ourselves, right? So, yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm working on a little mini hip hop astrology documentary, so I'll be previewing clips of that because everything going on this year with hip hop, I'm really sitting here like, nah. Hip hop is an entity, and entities have birthdays. They have starting periods. So, as many of y'all may know, hip hop has a birthday. It has a birthday, and I feel like the whole makeup of hip hop is mad spiritual in general. It's mad spiritual in general. The makeup of how a music genre is even constructed in general, that is very spiritual, with music being one of the most powerful things, if not the most powerful thing in this realm. So we know hip hop today is damn near the most influential thing in the world, let alone music genre in the world. All right. So, and I'm also a Bronx native. So these things I got to know. I don't know if these young folks know they back in the day hip hop New York OG stories. I don't know if we passed the tradition down, but hip hop started in the Bronx. So I'm basically diving into the birthday of that and seeing how today's times in comparison to what influences hip hop was birthed out of is influencing everything going on. And it's always a crazy dynamic going on with hip hop every single year. All right. But as far as the warfare, as far as the quote unquote warfare, it seemed like it was just going to be a small period, a little bit beefing, but it seemed like this is going to be 2024. Niggas is at niggas' heads like a mug. 2024. Before they took my YouTube, somebody left a comment. You might be in the chat right now. Somebody left a comment and said, Bora, what does like a mug mean? If you in the chat, you mad funny for that. You mad funny for that. But anyways, so yeah, look forward to that, guys. But let's get into these energies. Let's get into these energies, man. Let's get into these vibes. Once again, shout out to everybody in the good building. All right, shout out to everybody in the building. Let's go ahead and just get some mini worship real quick as I...
In this game, I'm tired of the turmoil. I'm tired of being lied on. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of being talked about. I'm tired of being manipulated. I'm tired of crying. I'm already crying.
I feel you, sister. I feel you, sister. I've already cried. I might cry tomorrow, but we're going to keep going in this mug like a mug. All right. Once again, shout out to all, man. Y'all lighting me up right now. Yeah, lighting me up right now. Stuff in the city. Sister, get you, yeah. The notes it's been a while, but it don't take a couple of run throughs to get the voice. La, 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 la. It don't take that long. I just got to warm that, that's it. I just got to warm it up a little something. That's all. Good sister Shaka Khan in the building. Sister Grace in the building. Man, shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to everybody in the building. All right, fill it up. Once again, happy birthday to all my twins in the building. All my gems in the building. All right. So let's get into some transitions. Let's ease our way into the new moon, guys. It's a new moon week. It's a new moon week in general. All right. So that's always important. Because God and the universe and the powers that be are going to make sure everybody in church right now gains awareness of where exactly we should be planting our energy at around this time in our life. Everybody need to be planting their energy towards Gemini right now in general. Learn to get with it. I don't care if you're introverted. I don't care if you don't like people that talk a lot. I don't care if you like silence in this mug. We don't care about none of that right now. We don't care about none of that right now. All right. Shoot an idea out. Critique something. Say something. too quiet in here. Remember when your mom just used to walk in your room and just bust in that mug for no reason? What's going on here? I ain't hearing nothing in there. You're like, what's I'm reading? The autobiography of Malcolm X. What's wrong, Ma? All right, keep your ass reading in here. And don't take too long on when he was read. Get to the converted part. Don't get too caught up in his thuggery. Get to get to the evolved section like a mug. Now a nigga gotta write an essay by the end of the week. God damn. So get to it. Spark a conversation. You know it's bad karma right now, all this energy going on, Gemini. You know it's bad karma right now. Somebody trying to seek some insight, and your ass acting like communication or interaction is some foreign bull jive. Family, now that I'm back on this mug, I ain't messing around with YouTube. I ain't messing around with the man. Let me just get a sidebar real quick. Let me just get a side note in there real quick. Okay? Ain't gonna be that much Matrix talk coming out this mug anymore. A brother gotta be careful, all right? Skin on thin ice in this mug right now. That's how I feel. All right, guys, just help me keep it together, y'all. Okay. But yeah, some people out here be acting like communication is a foreign thing. It may sound like I got animosity towards it. I'm a whole air stellium. I'm a South Node in Gemini. So, you got a lot of air placements. You feel away when somebody don't want to act like you communicating to them, you talking to them is a problem. You trying to have a conversation with somebody in a valued, significant partnership, and then they got too much water energy right now. So they got too much Pisces energy or something. They got too much Cancer energy. Get it together. It ain't Gemini energy. Don't care how you feel right now. We trying to communicate to resolve them feelings. All right? See, one thing y'all got to understand about Gemini energy, Gemini ain't about holding things heavy. Gemini can't hold things heavy. Gemini is not really a vengeful sign. So that's why any story or imagery or anything somebody could talk about Gemini being in a heavily vengeful space, for the most part, you push them to a certain space, but the way they take it there, it seems so strategically is almost genius-like a little bit. So it'll throw you off. It's like, did you been wanting to do this to me? All right, no, just don't play with Mercury. Don't play with somebody that got dual ways of processing their thoughts, right? Because Gemini got to go through all 10 options before they go do something. Certain signs see one outfit in their closet, they're like, this is the one I want to rock tonight. I don't really care about what else is in the closet. This is it right here. That's not Mercury. Mercury don't work like that. Mercury placements don't work like that. Heavy Gemini energy don't work. What's the 10 options? Let me sort them out. Can I take the hat from that fit and put it with that? Like, it's Mercury. You got to go through all these options. So if somebody's dealing with all these different thoughts and now you got them in a vengeful space, there's too many ideas on how to get your narrow-minded ass. There's too many different ideas, and now they're the demon. No, you don't play with somebody that's that diabolical mentally. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right? So you don't want to be in no vengeful, not vengeful, but you don't really want to be in no grudge holding spaces right now. That's like the last thing that's like the last vibration you really want to be in right now. Anything heavy, anything you want to be able to attack things that are feeling heavy to some type of connection, communication, expression, energy. If Gemini is a placement that already likes to keep things light, it wants to exchange thoughts, consider others mutable, right? Flexible. The mutable signs give some of the most grace in the zodiac. When you really look at it, some Virgos, some Pisces let you get away with murder. I forgive you. It's okay. I understand. Why do you think they so understand? They watching all the bull jivery the cardinal signs and fixed signs getting into. All right, I understand it is what it is. All right, I still love you. All right, because I'm the one that be here when you fall, anyways. Literally, I be here to. It's the last sign of every season. Some Capricorns. Not Capricorns. Some cardinal placements, some fixed signs. That's a relationship that could play out a lot of the time. Sometimes the cardinal and fixed signs cardinal sign may not feel like they need the mutable sign to do something that's cardinal-like, and the fixed sign may not feel like they need the mutable sign to keep something concentrated and in motion. But when the fixed sign going through it, when the cardinal sign going through it, here go your Pisces. Here go your Virgo. Pisces, go ahead, give you a little something, something, so you can start giving yourself grace. Make you understand you this small in the collective. It's okay. Give you a little Jupiter energy up in there. So give you a little quotes, a little Sun Tzu, a little African proverbs, a little some of that, regular Pisces shit, And you got Virgo coming through with the healing aspect, with the nurturing aspect, but a little practicality mixed in that mug, a little bit tangible to action mixed in that mug. Might give you a resource, give you a card, call them. They offer free therapy. There you go. Now this is the mutable energy. Gemini, keep it light. Just keep talking to them about it. That's all. That's what they gonna do with you. Don't worry about feeling like you harassing them and stepping on their toes about talking. Trust me. Don't worry about it. I promise you. We could bet on it. Don't worry about it. They there. All right. And they're gonna be good. The more evolved ones know when it's a night that is like, you know what? Let them be the star of the show right now with this communication thing. They really need this right now. So they mute. It's still flexible. It's the most flexible air sign. So I know I get on Geminis and air signs talking a lot in general, but Gemini in general, it's mutable. So they can adapt. It's not saying that they're so thirsty and eager to connect and interact and dialogue and whatnot because they're also thirsty to get theirs off. Yeah, that may be the aspect too, but they're intuitive enough to understand like, okay, this ain't about me tonight. This ain't about me having an exchange done tonight. They need this. They know I could create that environment for them. That's why they talking to me. That's why they telling me you're the only person I'm telling about this situation because I feel like you want to judge me for it in this month. You know how your voice get when you start crying? No words, just mumble. Start sounding like doing opera in this mug. But that's what's going on. So we ain't got time for that, family. There's too much transformation going on with social environments. We're in a new moon week. So a lot of us is just new moon week is revelation week. So there's a lot of new revelations when it comes into things dealing with how we look at how we deal with interaction, our approach, our attitude towards dealing with interaction, obligations, priorities amongst close friends, people in our surroundings, right? How much we embrace really communicating, our thoughts, taking time to articulate our thoughts in situations when it's needed. All right. So if you're in a relationship right now, you in your feels about something, right? You got your little matey mate that you're mating on right now, and y'all getting to hit a little bump in the road. Try to get out the bag of where your heart is at about it. If you know you there, if you know you're going to be committed, if you know you ain't leaving, don't make it sticky right now with all the Gemini energy that can make things lighter. It'd be so funny because I'm a good stubborn brother. So there'll be times holding a grudge. Scorpio. Okay, where the Scorpions at in the chat? Because they probably the only ones that's going to feel this right here. Put an 8 in the chat in this mug. If you got Scorpio dominant placement, sometimes holding a grudge feel good. Don't make me feel like Pastor by himself. Please. Sometimes it feel good. It's like, no, I don't want to release right now. I don't want to make light of this shit right now. No, it's about morals, about principle in this mug, like a mug. I want to stay mad. I want to act like I'm finna get some revenge knowing I ain't really going to take it there. But I want to act, I want them to think I'm going to do it though. That's how that Scorpio 8th house vibe be sometimes. That's how that Mars, Pluto aspect in that moon be sometimes. I don't know. That's how that stellium in the 8th house, that Venus and Scorpio, that Venus aspect in Mars and Pluto. Mars in a bad space. Mars in Cancer. Mars in the 4th house. We all have potential for these things with this placement. It's like, no, sometimes you look at it like, why I got to move on other people's time? How come this is the time you want to come and have a conversation about resolving something? What if I don't want to, I'm not in get back together mode yet, even though I know it's coming. No, Why we got to move on your time all the time? So here come all the competitiveness. Guys, we got to uplift that right now. We got to uplift that right now. Good sister Belle Populone in the building. Good sister I Am Raspberry. Knowing Ruby Hunt. Guys, I see you, family. Trust me, I may not say anything about you walking down them aisles, but I feel your energy, family. I feel your spirit. Lord have mercy. I miss you, mother flippers. So let's keep all of this in mind right now. Let's keep all of this in mind. Shout out to the mutable signs in general. All right. Might get dragged a little bit more than the other signs this church service, but it's okay. Everybody get their turn. God don't miss. All right. Sometimes we be seeing a nigga things be going a little too good for a good brother and sister. And niggas start hating. Like, nah, son, hey, this is some bullshit. Something gotta happen to this nigga. You in high school, it was the high school cheerleader chick, it's the popular jock guy. It's like, nah, life can't be perfect. Ain't this a mug? These niggas just got it all. I'm gonna be front row once something bad happen. I'm gonna become a journalist just so I could report on something bad finna happen to them. So sometimes, y'all, don't get it misconstrued. Don't get it misconstrued. Mutable signs, like, I'm gonna uplift y'all. I have uplifted y'all before I start dragging y'all a little bit more than others in here. Because God not playing, and sometimes it just is what it is. So you got all this energy in one space. Just know, through positioning, through angles, another space is catching a lot of friction. If we have anytime we're going through transits, there's a lot going on in one sign. Them squares and opposites, make sure you sending them wellness check-ins. All right? Make sure that laugh be for real. They say we be coping with depression with humor like a mug. Make sure that, look at them, see if they hold that laugh. See if it's not a fake laugh. They could be like, see if they do that right there. That was a fake laugh. You ain't hold it for too long. All right, guys. So shout out to the Pisces right now. Pisces, your ass might be getting drained a little bit when it comes into heavy interaction because we know you love to sleep. We know you love being in your isolated space and recharging after interaction. But right now, I feel like there ain't no recharge space. It's like, damn, y'all know I'm a cooperative brother, good sister. But can I get this weekend off? Hell no, you getting this weekend off. Get out there and connect. Talk. You've been going through a lot too, Pisces dominance. Saturn been on y'all like a mug. So y'all should have a lot that y'all been building instruction that could get interacted on right now. Y'all like, this is, get out there, Pisces. Okay. Who the other mutable sign? Virgo. Virgo gonna do a little bit better than everybody else right now because they ruled by Mercury, but still. Virgo, don't nobody be knowing you could jump into as communicative, relatable bag as Virgo because you're the feminine side. So you be in your incognito bag. I'm about to make a video talking about the most incognito placements and signs in the Zodiac because I realize some of y'all think y'all El Chapo like a mug. Damn. So I'm going to get into y'all some of the incognito brothers and sisters. I like that topic right there. We're going to get into that. All right. Y'all want me to throw a little honorable mentions out there, throw a little preview out there. Pisces placements, y'all incognito as hell. Y'all mysterious as hell. You niggas could be running a whole cult, show up to work, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Nigga don't know no difference. On the weekends, you got niggas walking on lava rocks, fasting, dry fasting, Orishas in the air and everything. We'll never know. Pisces placements. All right. Who else? Who else be in the incognito? I ain't gonna give out too much. That's just a little preview right there. We're gonna get into it though. So Virgos, this is where Virgos right now. So don't nobody be knowing you be able to jump into as much of a communicative and relatable bag as Gemini. Because you the incognito sign of Mercury. Now, ain't nothing wrong with being incognito. Shit, you gotta know how to jump into all different type of vibes for different circumstances. That's a wise spirit, all right? You be too locked in, it's But you're thinking one vibe gonna handle every circumstance in life. All right. Sometimes you got to give a hug. Sometimes you got to go somebody's shit. All right. But for the most part, Virgo, now you being pushed to get out there and interact a lot of things you may have been building. You may have been structuring. If you're in your healing process, relate that. Let them know what you've been listening to. Send them a playlist. Send them your healing playlist. Ladies, stop feeling like y'all don't be having a healing phase playlist. All right. Be Jill Scott. Be Jill Scott in that month. Erica Badu. You know the healing vibe artists. You got those two essential ones. It ain't a healing playlist. It ain't a healing playlist if you ain't got good Sister Jill or Erica on it. I'm sorry. So you got some of them on them. You feel me? So Virgo, send them the healing playlist. Get them right. Get them right. All right. Relate that. Okay, this is what I've been going through. I ain't gonna hide about it. I ain't gonna try, because Virgos be prideful about things dealing with how relationship matters be making them look. Virgos don't really be trying to go into that like that. You only be knowing about Virgo's relationship activity if you close to home. They ain't too open about that shit. It's either you close to home, you're gonna read that shit in a memoir. All right. So other than that, Virgo, right now, you got to be a little bit more open. You might be in your healing process. You might have a healing routine right now that could save so many other people right now. This Gemini season. You about to be placed in so many circumstances to connect and relate that shit. But you might have to be on the stage for being the one that's like, yeah, this came from my personal experiences. You gotta get rid of the pride right now, Virgo. All right. And then Sagittarius. Oh man, good sister Ebony in the building. I see blues, I see greens, the dresses, the suit, they just looking crazy. The good brother ER. All right. Once again, this church wouldn't be known without the good brother. Okay. All right now. Just make sure I ain't missed none of them. All right. Good brother Darren was. I love to see all of y'all. I'm happy to be back to see y'all. Okay, so excuse me. So when we talk about who I was talking about, Sagittarius. Now y'all's the real hot seat sign, because y'all the opposite. Y'all's the opposite right now. So nothing Sagittarius like really makes sense right now. Okay, you believe in Jesus, but explain this part of the Bible. That's the difference. Gemini, Sagittarius, right there. See how easy I did that? You see how easy I did that, family? That right there shows you the difference between Sagittarius and Gemini. Sagittarius didn't even say nothing in that dialogue. It was just Gemini. That lets you know the difference right there. Sagittarius looking at Gemini, nigga, who is you? Start looking at like you trying to challenge spirituality with logic. It's like, no, it just don't make sense. They say the good brother skin, right? Hair made out of wool. Explain this part, good brother. All right, so Gemini going to dissect the literature. It's going to dissect the word. I like being as optimistic as you, Sagittarius. We're in the same axis. You know, we share the same trait. We do not hold heavy negative energy. We are one of the most open-hearted, open-minded, curious, adventurous, explorational signs in the Zodiac. But explain this part right here, good brother. Explain this part, good sister. That's what Gemini challenges Sagittarius to do. Gemini challenges Sagittarius to not get so hype on the word. You go into church and this pastor's putting on this act and he's so hype and he has such a great demonstration. He's entertaining. But what substance you really getting from the church? What you really learning from? You giving all them plates. You doing this, that, and the third. What substance you really breaking down? What new perspectives of life you really get when you leave that service? Right? How do you have new perspectives about your life experiences when you leave that service? Right? How does it really stimulate what's going on over here besides the thrill of the world, the word, the spirit of the word, which ain't a negative thing. You is a balance to everything, family. None of these things is positive and negative. It's just the mere reflection of the sister signs. So this is letting you know why you're going through certain experiences right now, Sagittarius. You might be going through certain things in your partnerships right now. You may be feeling heavy on a certain moral that you feel like should have been conducted in your partnership. Right? something based off a moral or ethic, or something you feel like your partner should already know how they should have demonstrated or displayed something. And they have different morals. They have different perspectives about things. They didn't see something that you saw the way you saw it. And now situations dealing with relating communication, you might get a little competitive right now. You might get a little competitive, especially when the logic starts logicking. When the logic, Sagittarius do not like that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying not to drag heavy today. I'm coming in the spirit of upliftment like I always do. Sometimes the natural drag just come out. It's all in the name. It's all in good spirit, family. I promise you. All right. My mom ain't like when I challenged the Bible when I was young. She ain't like when I came with the brother hair wool. What's this good brother do? What's this picture of this brother right here? If in this good book right here it says, which you're confusing me, good sister. I think you confused, sister. She ain't like that. She in the spirit. She's in the spirit. I don't like that. I don't like when people try to challenge or debate things I'm spiritually into, especially if I feel like, you know, it's really not that much you can teach me on a spiritual level or something. Not trying to be egotistical. If you're trying to just, you know, come at astrology because how you believe, what you believe, and ain't no logic in that neither, you feel me? Or even if you try to be, I'm already going to feel away. I'm already going to feel away if you come in my beliefs. So I get it, Sagittarius. I get it. But at some point, things got to start logicking, okay? And that's why you got to make sure you're open towards all forms of other people's perspectives around this time. It may be certain tweaks in your life that can manifest you just being open to other people's perspectives about things, especially in intimate relationships close to home. This may be a time right now that you have to kind of pay attention to close to home more than, I don't want to say more, but find that balance, paying attention to what's going on close to home, Sag. In comparison to, you know, things you may have going on with certain enterprising, marketing, building, structuring that you got going on out in the world. All right, because you know you're more of a expansive brother or sister. Geminis, we taking care of the surroundings. We taking care of what's local. All right, so that's something we all need to understand right now. Let's make sure we clean up third house energy, even if you have Gemini in another space. Okay, so right now, guys. Shout out to everybody in the building. So right now, man, we preparing for that new moon, guys. Sun, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury in Gemini. Okay, so I just want to make sure those signs knew why you may be having to feel like you're responding to a lot of activity amongst this area. But understand, whatever house you have Gemini in, there's a lot of expression going on. The house you got Gemini in right now, we got to make sure we're showing our love for it. We got to make sure we put in our heart into it. We got to make sure we're not neglecting things in this area that's triggering feelings and emotions in some type of shape or form. We don't want to neglect a damn thing, because that's when a house that's already very active has the potential to start becoming chaotic, because we're neglecting things and we're acting like things are not priorities and responsibilities. All right. We may have certain priorities, responsibilities just to go to work and do this, that, and the third from a, you know, everyday, daily agenda perspective. But you may know you got to, you know, call your girl, you and your girl going through, you got to call your girl. You know damn well your girl waiting for your call. And, you know, for whatever the reason is, it's your time to call. You and her both know it's your time to call first. That's a spiritual responsibility right there. Ain't nobody going to dock your check. All right, ain't nobody gonna take more taxes out your check or something if you don't call her, but that's the spiritual responsibility. So we can't be neglecting the spiritual responsibilities taking place in the Gemini house. Okay, if it's calling on your heart, make sure you give it the priority it needs, because with that being said, Jupiter's in town. So neglecting experiences, neglecting connection, neglecting interaction, neglecting being open to other people's beliefs and perspectives. You know, right now our belief system has to be in a mutable form. We cannot, you know, be so either dogmatic, or we cannot be so, you know, passionate to the point we're stubborn from learning from other spaces right now. Jupiter is a placement that likes to expand and is in a very flexible sign. Now, Jupiter don't really bang with Gemini though. So that's another thing we all need to understand. Man, Jupiter don't like this space. They'd rather be in Sagittarius, the opposite sign. Okay, so this is why Sagittarius energy may feel a little funky in general around this time, that Jupiter is transiting Gemini, because you may just feel like your belief systems are hard to participate into society, into some type of shape or form. You may have clashes trying to go about relating your belief system. So it's really, this energy is really challenging Sagittarius dominance to make sure they're having confidence in the spirit, in the word, in your belief, in the things you have faith in, regardless of the feedback, regardless of other people relate to your concepts or not, while having to find a balance to being open learning through to other people. So Sagittarius, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I get it. Okay, so Sister Watkins, Cat House. I'm so happy to see you, sister. Did you know that? Do you feel that, sister? All right. Okay, so yeah, Jupiter don't like being in Gemini, guys. Gemini local energy. Gemini, y'all know the phrase, I am the hood. Y'all know what it is. Gemini is the hood. And it does everything for the hood. All right. Jupiter be feeling constructed in the hood. You got to really paint this out. I be trying to make these analogies. I be trying to turn these circumstances into people, because that's what's really going on. We just in smaller bodies. But up there, if you other stars up there, you're like, oh shit, damn, Jupiter just got into Gemini. I think it's about to go off. That's what they going through up there. They living up there. They doing things up there. They just in bigger bodies. So when Jupiter get into Gemini, that's why things get a little chaotic, because in a space that's dealing with awareness of the surroundings, yeah, Jupiter got that. But there's going to be certain times Jupiter wants to expand, explore a little bit more, and it may have certain obligations that has to take care of in the local surroundings. It may have to bring a sense of awareness, enlightenment into their surroundings in some type of shape or form. They may have to be the guidance and the insight to help others in the surroundings expand in some type of shape or form. They have to learn how to find a balance and making sure, when they go expand, what's local is not making them feel guilty about them trying to expand or explore. So we all have to be careful of people throwing their projection and critiques in things dealing with what we're trying to expand about, all right, in our lives in general. Okay, so yeah, Jupiter be feeling crazy in here. And then when Jupiter starts feeling crazy, starts feeling restricted, start feeling like it can't expand in some type of shape or form, it could start acting out. It could start acting out, aka we start becoming extreme, trying to impose our belief systems instead of just respecting others and going about ours, right? We turning things dealing with our personal will to experience certain things into competitiveness. We're trying to prove to others. We're trying to defend things in our belief systems. So think that these are all the different circumstances and themes could just get, a little bit sticky while Jupiter is in Gemini. But whether Jupiter is in a sign of likes or not, it's going to expand that, and it's going to bring a lot of activity. Just look at your Taurus house, everybody. Take a second and look at your Taurus house right now. Take a second and look at your Taurus house and think about the last year. Think about the last year. Listen. Put a 2 in the chat if you had a major breakthrough in your Taurus house. Okay? Because that's what Jupiter going to bring. It's going to bring a breakthrough. It's going to bring a revelation. Now, how it does it, it could be a conversation. It could be a fight. I don't know. It depends. That's Jupiter be on wacky timing sometimes. But for the most part, it was helping to expand how we look at, certain philosophies about that house. It was trying to expand anything that's heavy in that house, that aka, once again, attachments, anything that's restricting our ability to explore. Look at that Taurus house. How many ups and downs you might have went through based off of something you was holding on to, and it's holding you back from exploring something. All right. And then Taurus already dealing with our values. So if you got Taurus in fire houses, your Taurus rising, Taurus in the 5th house, Taurus in the 10th house, Taurus in the 9th house, in some type of shape or form, the way you express yourself was challenged. You may have had some blow up moments dealing with your expression in the past year, dealing with certain circumstances or environments close to home, or in general, based off your belief systems, people projecting on your belief systems, any refinement or restricted environments placed on your expression in some type of shape or form, just dealing with feeling like you're in an environment where you can't explore something, dealing with creative expression. you know, dealing with any setbacks with creative endeavors, that hella frustrating with Jupiter in them houses. And then those different breakthroughs as why things affect your creative abilities in certain ways, why things affect why you express yourself in certain ways, you know. So Jupiter is helping you to, oh damn, ever since I was young I was told I couldn't express myself. Damn, it makes sense, Jupiter, goddamn. Like, so Jupiter's doing a lot of that. Jupiter does a lot of that. All right, it's placing us experiences, gain our own beliefs, you know, and sometimes, you know, something has to continue to expand for us to learn certain things before we can move on to another, you know, another lesson, another class. Okay, we got Taurus in them Earth houses, 2nd, 6th, 10th house. May have been a lot of expansion, and nonetheless, I know I'm bringing up more so about, you know, I'm trying to give the light and dark energy of Jupiter's transit through the Taurus house, but nonetheless, Jupiter is dealing with expansion. So I am expecting people to also have, you know, once again, they break through testimonials, you know, about how they were able to see things from a different perspective, manifest things from a different perspective, experienced or experimented with something new in that area. And now there's a lifestyle change that manifested out of that in some type of shape or form. You have a different way of doing something. Jupiter's strong with tradition, culture, energy. So now you have a new culture established in that area based off of what you learned through a certain experience. So Jupiter and them Earth houses, it may be a whole different way you navigate in career and business right now. You should have a whole excited way of building and expanding something if you have Jupiter in the Earth house, because you have Taurus in the Earth house. So that area is always influencing you to find a way to see your value, something you have, something you possess, I have, and see how to give it some foundation, see how to work on it, see if it could result into something, see if it could turn into some form of stability or something. All right. So there's a double Earth influence here, and Jupiter is throwing you into a lot of experiences, conversations, circumstances for y'all to realize, like, damn, this thing that I have is a tool I can use to build, is something I have been neglecting, you know, as far as a tool or resource in my life. So there's a lot of that. So then also different manifesting different breakthroughs in the career area. Then you got Jupiter, then you got Taurus in them air houses. Taurus in the 3rd, Taurus in the 7th, Scorpio risings, Taurus in the you know, in the 11th house. All different type of new experiences. In the 1 year, probably met so many different people. In 1 year, probably it took this year for y'all to gain a revelation about something you've been in a relationship, a friendship with somebody for a long time. You probably just saw true colors this year in some type of shape or form. All right. A lot of new opportunities to jump into, you know, collaborative efforts with others in amongst something that, you know, you're creatively building. You may have got closer to a form of a community that relates to your belief system in some type of shape or form. Relationships falling out because of, you know, clarity of what each other's, both parties' belief systems are. So a lot of that going on. And then we got, you know, Taurus in them water houses. Taurus in them water houses, 4th house, 8th house, 12th house. So in general, situations close to home, probably have breakthrough conversations, dialogue with loved ones, family members, spouses, you know, understandings about things that manifested in the family home environment a while ago. A lot of you might have not spoke to your ex in so goddamn long. You might have not spoken to your ex years since y'all broke up, and y'all broke up bad. Yeah, for some reason, Jupiter in the water house, something that's heavy in the subconscious, and Jupiter's like, nope, we got to expand this. We ain't holding this heavy no more. You're going to learn. This going to be the year you're going to be able to develop a philosophy around that relationship, around that connection, around that experience that impacted your subconscious. There's a meaning and reasoning to everything, whether we're playing victim about it, whether we're being unaccountable about it, whether we're being just in denial about how we may have, about how much it is impacting us, which is making it even worse because we're not even acknowledging that the situation is impacting us. So Jupiter comes and brings all of that up, especially you had it like in the 4th house. All right. That's what I just experienced. I just experienced Jupiter in the 4th house. All right. It just came out my 4th. Okay. But that's how Jupiter wants to play out in the subconscious houses regardless. So just look at all these different revelations taking place in this area. And it was in Taurus. So a lot of the revelations, once again, on how to get more experience, become more familiar with our gifts, what we have, the different tools that we possess, our value, recognizing our value, planting something with it, you know, planting a seed with it in some type of shape or form. And now we're taking that experience into the Gemini house. So it's more of a state of interacting those very things we've just learned. Jupiter is taking this new awareness about how it deals with his values and is getting right into an interactive space, even if Gemini is not in a quote unquote interactive space. Gemini makes that house an interactive space. I don't care if you got in a water house, earth house, that motherfucker is interactive like a mug. All right, guys. So I just really want to highlight the major activity going on here right now. And some of us may have got right before Jupiter entered Gemini, some of us may have got stripped of certain things in certain ways, and we're just now realizing, or we're gonna realize, how we were stripped of that because it was putting a blemish on our outlook about something or our potential about something. So it's actually holding us back from creating something or producing something. Remember that Jupiter freedom, this placement had a lot to do with freedom. So some of us may have mentalities about certain things that's keeping us restricted from creating, navigating, experiencing certain things. So I think a lot of chaotic things or transformative things that manifested in our lives around that time that we had that conjunction and Jupiter started to enter Gemini, it had a lot to do with maybe us perceiving things from a different way to gain that ownership, gain that authority, right? I just don't want to center stage myself. Once again, around that time and everything happened with YouTube, I had to really start approaching things from a more, all right, how do I take more authority over my brand? Like, how do I make this more of an independent thing that I can still have the, still work on my reach, still connect with others, keep my community theme alive with the people I'm connecting with, this, that, and the third. So it was a lot of change of game plan with a lot of things that we really value around this past month, and we had to learn to adjust. Some of us still learn how to adjust, once again, depending on the house you have Taurus in. So we taking that momentum of energy into Gemini, and now it's about to be a new moon. So everything we experiencing this past 2 weeks leading up into this new moon that's about to take off is very important to understand all the colors you're seeing about people that you're in your significant relationships in your life. It's important to just pay attention to the mentalities, how people make you feel about bright ideas or creative ideas, things that you're excited about creating. Okay, because sometimes people may not ever express anything about something you're dealing with, but their energy around it for some reason is never feels like it's received well. So you might have to, get somebody up out of your corner a little bit when you're expressing things about maybe something you're creating, something you're involved with. I ain't finna drain you, but I thought you was the homie. I thought you was my shorty. I could relate these things, blah, 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 blah. So everything is just transpired this first 2 weeks of Gemini season. People realizing who they really fuck with, people realizing, because you gotta understand, Gemini is familiar energy. Gemini is local energy. So a lot of us right now are getting in touch, communicating with people that we probably haven't spoke with in a while, but we're realizing, like, damn, it's one of these relationships. We cannot speak for this long, but it's going to be like this. It's always going to be like this. I trust that it's always going to be like this in some type of shape or form. You realize how much you value a certain relationship. All right. So there might be 5 planets in Gemini. There ain't no way you just ducking this interaction anyway. Like, it's just not happening. Like, it's not happening. All right, it's not happening. And then Mercury's home. Okay. So yeah, things could get chaotic. Yeah, right now, our Gemini house, things dealing with partnerships and interactions in our life could get a little bit the pace of things could feel a little speedy around this time. Okay. But Mercury's in there. So we all got the lens to properly see what's going on with the interaction in our spaces. Sister Jensky in the building. Good sister Scorpio sun goddess. I miss y'all. God damn. Lord have mercy. My God is a good God connecting me with my people. All right. So Mercury's home. So can't nobody be disingenuous about these going on with their partnerships right now. I hate some disingenuous energy with Gemini. That's one of Gemini's worst traits. I ain't gonna say worst trait. That's one of their shadow side traits. Let me drag y'all a little bit, Gemini. I know this is bad juju right here. It's bad karma. Y'all B-Day, but let me just get this one off. All right. I'm wearing y'all colors today. Y'all like this. Y'all like this type of aqua, like green. I know y'all colors. I know. But anyways, look. Gemini's is not, they not going for they're not going for situations where they feel like they can't react. They can't react to their thoughts about something with somebody. Actually, wait, hold on. Before I even say what I'm about to say about that, speaking of Venus, yeah, actually, this is a good segue into saying what I'm about to say, because this is like a relationship trait. It's a relationship, it's a love matter trait. This is how you know Gemini and they dark bag and they shadow bag in their relationship. When they acting disingenuous, you the most critically present, mentally present sign in the Zodiac. You got super sensory for things in your surroundings. You knew what I was going to say before I said it. You dissecting my sentence in so many different compartments while I'm talking. You're a communication genius. But now we're trying to talk about something. I'm trying to tell you how what you did make me feel, but you don't know. Oh, for real? That's how that make you feel? I didn't know. You never said that. You never said you had an issue with that. Oh, I hate when Gemini getting that disingenuous bag. Like, no, you too smart. You too much of an intellectual for this. I'm not going. You know what you did. All right. Use that Mercury, use that brain of yours to figure out why I feel the way I feel. So that's when you get into Gemini playing mind games with your ass. You with that disingenuous bag. All right. I'm sorry, Gemini. I love you. Happy solar time. I love you. Okay. Y'all my cousins. But Venus is in the mix. All right. So Venus is in the mix, putting the icing on the cake. With all the Gemini energy, and Venus is going to be huge when it comes into the new moon. So when you got a new moon conjunct Venus, expect revelations, expect new insight, or just new shit in general happen with love matters. It just is what it is. Somebody might be telling their partner the first time they love their ass. Somebody may have to get something off their chest dealing with love matters because there's a new moon energy. So when it comes into love matters, spiritually, we try to embrace a new slate, new foundation, healthy cycles, healthy beginnings of a cycle. But a brother might have been holding something for a little bit. He's like, no, I gotta let her know. I can't. If I want my marriage to work, I gotta let her know. Nigga can't go to sleep at night. It's one of them secrets too. One of them secrets. Nigga wake up, the wife sleeping, she wake up, nigga just looking at her. Like, honey, what's wrong? Ain't nothing, just think about life. It's 4:47. Take your that's what them real secrets will do to your ass. 4:47 staring at your wife, can't get sleep. But in order to make your marriage work, you're gonna have to get this off your chest during the new moon conjunct Venus like a mug. All right. And it's in the air sign. So, like I said, just be open about everything with everybody right now, family. Just be open about everything. Okay. Soon as you get home, just start saying everything going on in your life. Hey, babe, listen, look, this is going on. I'm texting the bros about this in the group chat right now. I saw my ex. She tried to holler at me. I curved her stupid ass. I almost got into a fight with my coworker. I be having thoughts about this. Sometimes I feel like this. Just start expressing life. Talk. All right? Because you're going to go crazy holding everything. And this Gemini season, stellium Gemini, new moon Gemini, is conjunct Venus. So you got a couple of days left to get that secret out. You got a couple of days to express something you feel like you need to get out with love matters before the peak. And now the new moon and the sun, they got to do it. They got to do it. We got about 70, how many days left? 72 hours? Be open to things your partner, your mate got to express to you. It may not be a thought, it may not be a detail about the relationship that settles with your heart chakra. We don't care about all of that right now. We're dealing with Gemini energy. We do not care about all of that. Is what they saying up here make some sense up here? Are they still committed to what we're trying to do right now? Damn, I guess they must have had to get this out. They must have had to communicate it, relate it. Because right now, one thing that's going to be discouraging in partnerships is that situation right there. Right there. Taking the courage to communicate something, knowing it could come off this way, that way, but the intention is to bring us together, is to keep the love in the room. I ain't trying to bring it out, baby. I got the windows and doors sealed tight, baby. This love is in here like a mug. All right. But I do got to communicate this real quick to keep the love in the room. We ain't got to take none of that to the heart chakra, y'all. You got to be open to the communication. All right, guys? All right. Ashe. So, everything going on there. right, guys, we got the moon brushing up past Uranus, Taurus, making its way into Jupiter. Making his way into Jupiter, but making his way into Gemini. So we want to make sure that a new moon passing by Uranus does bring an exciting charge, already going into a sign that's dealing with a lot of excitement. And these are a lot of happy placements, all right? So it's a nice stellium. It's a happy stellium. Like I said, guys, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Jupiter, literally light, quote unquote, we ain't got no Mars up in there. Uranus trying to get up in there, can't get an invitation. Still stay your ass in Taurus. All right. So we got, it ain't no heavy, but a lot of energies just make things heavy, guys. Okay. So we got to make sure as the moon is passing Uranus, this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, going into the new moon, we want to make sure, because Uranus, erratic, impulsive. So we just want to make sure with things dealing with, is this a situation to respond, or is this a situation to let go? Period. Is this a situation to respond, or is this a situation to learn to let go? Because of the new moon, sometimes we could get signals to just clean up shop real quick with certain things we may not have been paying attention to, so we can make sure we provide an environment for these new things to come into our life. So them little couple of days stints before the peak, you always gotta take a picture. You always gotta make sure you're paying attention to that. All right. So I ain't make no notes, no nothing, y'all. So we're just gonna do this right now, real live, run through for everybody. All right. We just want to get the positioning right for everybody. Okay. Now, so the new moon is taking place 16 degrees of Gemini. Now, now, there's a fixed star by that degree in Gemini. There's a fixed star there. Somebody asked me the other day, Bora, what's the difference between fixed stars and constellations? Constellations is like a bigger body group of stars. A fixed star, we basically identify fixed stars as stars that's pretty much very far away. So just because of the perception of how far it is, it comes off. Nothing is nothing in life and in spirituality and the universe is fixed. But as far as not moving, as far as not evolving, transforming, or going through some type of process in that manner. But yes, that's the difference for the most part. So yeah, so when we look at 16 degrees. So this is Constellational Words website, guys, that has, just like other websites, you could just use Google fixed stars website, just so you can see different degrees or whatnot of fixed star systems. We know these fixed stars are in the background of our solar system. So I know a lot of y'all is into the degree theory. All right. I believe 16 degrees would be a what? I think that's a Cancer degree. I think I seen somebody say that's a Cancer degree. Yeah, I think somebody probably could enlighten me. I think that's like a Cancer degree, but y'all know I'm not too big on that. I like getting into the fixed signs. I like seeing what's hovering around that part of the constellation. So the fixed star Regal around the in the Orion constellation is where this new moon is taking place off. Now, I remember seeing this fixed star because I remember when I was just going through transits for 2024 early in the year and looking at this time and seeing, oh yeah, Jupiter getting in here, but the new moon that month is landing on a fixed star. Now, this Regal fixed star, as you can see, this is the Orion constellation. All right, so Orion constellation is known as like the hunter. The Regal star is somewhere around here, the bottom. Well, bottom might not even be the best word to use, but you could say the foot area of the constellation or whatnot. And when it comes into astrological influence, I know there's a lot of things dealing with like abundance, good fortune. Yep. Okay. So Gemini placements in here actually want to check the degree that you have. If you have, your sun, moon, Mercury rising around this degree. All right. With sun, bold, courageous, insolent, unruly temper, hasty actions, bloodshed, many enemies, great good fortune, military success. With moon, much worry and disappointment, injuries to life and fortune, sickness, ill health, or death to wife or mother. So, fixed stars, they come with in-depth influences behind strong placements like the sun, moon, rising, and it has a lot to do with your spiritual history. So understanding like these type of degrees from that perspective is always important. I'm sure being next to these placements, things go more in depth than these little statements here and there, but so if Regal's conjunct with the sun, moon, midheaven ascendant, quick rise in life is promised an account of a strong inherent willpower, love, action, and a lucky hand in enterprise. A continuous battle to retain an acquired position has to be waged. This fight at the same time stimulates an increase in vigor. What vigor mean again? It mean like good health, right? Like vitality, right? Yeah. Even in spite of unhelpful aspects, success in reaching a set aim can be secured by this powerful concentration. If, however, the native is not cautious or has an attack of weakness, failure, and disappointments, a fall from success will follow. Traditional. Okay. So a lot of things around good fortune. I do see some things dealing with a little bit of warfare area going on, but this is a part of a constellation is Orion constellation. So Orion is known strong hunter-like influences, so you could have a lot of ambition. A lot of people that have influences around Orion fixed stars have a lot of willpower. They attack things, a lot of courageous individuals, especially if it's hitting that sun and that moon. All right, guys. So just a little hover over the fixed star. So with all of that being said, jumping back to the fact that this is where the sun and not just sun and moon, but Venus is here too. We already got Venus dealing with, love matters, our values, but Venus is dealing with a bag too, dealing with our finances. I always tell y'all, when we're talking about finances with Venus, it results in our values, what you like or you, not what you like, you love, but what you truly value, your ability to connect that, and that can always result in you being compensated with that, with Venus. All right. So having this influence right here, everybody needs to make sure anything dealing with navigating creative endeavors, things we want to birth in this new moon phase right now, and we really see a lot of value and potential in it. We have to be very big on establishing that intention of understanding that this potential is very fortunate. There is a lot of fortune behind this potential. This feeling idea, this emotion, or the potential imagery I have dealing without creating, I need to sustain the attitude of this being as fruitful and abundant as it is. All right. There's going to be a lot of situations right now, guys, dealing with attachments once again, and we're going to realize how we're holding ourselves back from being in the more prosperous, abundant spaces. I was talking to somebody not too long ago. They talking about somebody they was dating. It was like, I swear to God, when I stopped dealing with this person, my hair started to grow. I started getting more money, business opportunities. It's crazy. So sometimes, sometimes that spiritual blockage be up in that atmosphere. Sometimes take a little transit, take a little circumstance to knock a little restriction out your way. So we have a double trouble influence of things dealing with prosperity, abundance, things surrounding finances, partnerships around finances is going to be very important. You just making business decisions with anybody? You just let anybody hold some bread? You just sponsoring anybody? So how finances is incorporated into things dealing with partnerships right now is very important as well. It's very important around this time. But seeds planted in this space that hold a lot of value, that come through with a lot of intention, being supported by these energies. All right, that type of fixed star presence in Gemini. Once again, it may be maybe some people, some Gemini dominance in here right now. You may have a whole study of Gemini, don't even know you got one of them planets is hovering around this fixed star, and that's why that star may get exalted, or that energy may get exalted in your life in different ways. You may have made money off of it. You may have benefited off of it. It may have provided stability in your life in some type of shape or form. Probably some competitive energy around it as well too, but in some type of shape or form, it has a lot of potential to be exalted, be seen, and be, result in things dealing with stability in some type of way or prosperous opportunity. All right, guys. So I just want to hover over that. That's energy we all have access to around this time. So with that, John peaking right there on top of 16 degrees, that was one of the most significant things about this new moon, and then it's squaring Saturn. All right, it's squaring Saturn. That's the only square we're dealing with. Okay, but 3 planets squaring Saturn, that's mad annoying to him. Okay, that's mad annoying. All right, he's like, what do all of y'all want? I'm over here trying to get Pisces right. I'm trying to get Pisces stabilized and structured. Y'all be over there doing everything else. Y'all know Pisces be needing some goddamn stability, a system. Y'all know out of all the signs, I wish I could stay here for 6 years, to be honest with you. Saturn doing some work on y'all right now, Pisces. All right. So shit. Seeing a reality to your illusions, your imagination, understanding what gifts and tools, creative abilities y'all have that need to be used as tools, knowing how to put restrictions on certain things that look like it got great potential, but no, that's la la land. That's not great potential, Pisces. Stop doing that. Stop saying great potential. La la land is great potential. All your friends and family members know that's la la land. Stop trying to convince us there's something good in that brother or sister. No, but I just think I know they keep going back to jail. Look, I know they violent. I know they abusive. It's been a couple of weeks, it's been 2 months. They don't really know my last name, but look, they hold the door for me. So Pisces, stop doing that. Saturn been on your ass about that. All right, it's being so goddamn open to people that don't reciprocate that mug. So there's a lot going on with Saturn structuring Pisces self together over there. All right. And in our Pisces house, that's where the construction and discipline is going on. That's where a lot of us experiencing reality. We just had our year anniversary with Saturn and Pisces. Everybody could give a testimony right now. Everybody could give a testimony right now about a couple of things that happened in your Pisces house right now that was reality. That was life. There's a couple of things that happened in the past year in your Pisces house that, if you explain, if your child or somebody else asks you about the situation, all you can say is like, that's just life. That's life. Ain't nothing else to it. That's how Saturn make you say that. Yeah, that's life. That's just, life is real. Yeah, life is a bitch. Yeah, Saturn make you say that. Make you deal with reality. Harshness. Okay? Just to give it a little slight pep talk to everybody, especially my Pisces dominance. All right, it's all right. You got knock one bowling pin down. You got 2 more to go. That's it. 2 more years. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Now, when you're looking at, with all of that being said, all right. 1 second, family. 1 second, gang. All right. So with all of that being said, we got all this interaction in Gemini, and we know anything squaring a new moon, is something that we're all being pushed to plant a new seed in, gain a new awareness about. Okay. So everything we've been building and structuring in our Pisces house, we need to see opportunities to relate that. A lot of us in different circumstances may get pushed to relate something, interact with others about something we're building in our Pisces house. It does show that we have to have a sense of discernment when it comes into relating the feelings and emotions around this time, because Saturn is bringing a sense of reality in Pisces, but we're in a lot of communication energies. So be mindful communicating about how you feel. Be mindful communicating how you really think about things. Be more realistic about these things around this time. You have to learn to see the reality in your partnerships around this time. Whenever Saturn is like squaring opposing them air signs, or not squaring opposing air signs, but we know Pisces naturally squares Gemini. But when Saturn's making conflict with amongst air signs, that's what's is always a theme in there. There's always a theme in there about pacing, seeing the reality, seeing if you got to fall back about certain things or whatnot, and partnership activity in some type of way. So, a lot of us is going to be learning to develop new systems. Some of us may have that one time. I got to get eventually. Listen, don't act like y'all don't know me back. Don't act like y'all don't know me. So, I got to bring a little toxicity out. a little toxicity out here and there, but like, you know, somebody might be dealing with their toxic mate around this time. That Saturn hit that new moon, and Gemini hit that Saturn hit that Venus. All right, this is the time to sit your ass down, stay at home, and really reevaluate this connection. Really reevaluate this. All right, you feel like something dealing with your mentality, with your ideas, and some type of group work ain't received well. Sit your ass home this week and reevaluate this collaborative effort. Okay, because we might start realizing how certain things dealing with what we want to create is restricted in the Pisces house. So all of these different type of influences of us make sure we bring reality to our relationship, making sure that we have a blueprint. Anything that we're starting and creating, Gemini, a bunch of ideas. Gemini, very charismatic, but has such a presence being able to stimulate other people's minds. Okay, so there's a lot of people, we're playing with our ideas in so many different ways. I named the stream Seeing the Value in Thought Power. All right, because we got all this activity here, we got Venus in there. But when it comes into understanding how significant a thought, an idea is, and how honing in on a thought or idea can manifest into things, and us realizing how many times we've, you know, manifested through this process, you know, a lot of concentration on a certain concept, ideology, idea about something, but also being able to see what people, places, and things shoot our ideas down. You know, seeing how we play out as, you know, some type of self-restriction on our own ideas. Okay, so this Saturn presence is helping us understand that too. All right, guys. All right, family. I'm just take a little 2 seconds real quick. As soon as I come back, we're going to get to all signs, and we're going to start with the stars of the show, all right, and the hot seat signs, which are the mutable signs. Our family, I will be right back.
Me say me under the blood, me say me under the blood. Jesus cover me under the blood, me say me under the blood. Jesus, you will cover me under the blood. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood that Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me, I go break up, put the blood on me face just like a makeup. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood that Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me heart break up, put the blood on me face just like a makeup. Under the blood, under the blood, Jesus cover me. Jesus, you will cover me. Say under the blood, under the blood, Jesus, you will cover me. Jump on this. Listen. Christian a fight some things where them not see. Stronghold demons and principality. My body at the temple, keep it holy, sanctified, justify, give God the glory. Fighting against three terrible enemy. The world, Satan and myself against me. What the anointing, pour it on me and make me trample the devil on it. Say.
All right, gang. Okay. Mutables, stars of the show. Stars of the show. Okay. All right. No notes, guys. All right. The pastor about to jump into his freestyle bag. Okay. Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Happy solar return to the twins. All right. To the geniuses. Now, Geminis. Okay, now, right now, just and a lot of activity, Gemini suns and risings, a lot of activity dealing with it don't matter what planets is in your, is a lot of planets in the house. And especially in your sign, you know, in your first house and in your sun sign and whatnot, you're going to be dealing with a lot of different things, a lot of things moving, shifting around in your personal life. No matter what those planets is, it's just a lot of energy, a lot of circumstances there. A lot of concentration right now is around your values, the things that you're clinging on to, the things that you're pouring into. You're very relationship oriented in general. So, you know, we're learning how to jump into your vibe right now. We're learning how to be a little bit more flexible, dealing with partnerships, and not just partnerships, but other people's mentalities about different things, changing our own mentalities about things. So, you know, right now you want to continue to be the example for that. We already know how big Jupiter getting in your sign is. Shout out to all the air dominance. Jupiter is big for the air dominance in general. A lot of earth dominance just expanded different things in their life with Jupiter transiting Taurus. So now the air signs turn. Gemini, you leading the way. Yeah, Gemini is a little, Jupiter is a little sticky here, but for the most part, there's a lot of exaltation to be going on. You know, I use exaltation in the holy definition more than the astrological way. So a lot of exaltation will go on right now for the things Gemini dominance is experienced with. And this may be a familiar habit. This may be a familiar trait. This may be something you do in your sleep, but Jupiter's here. So maybe an environment and maybe opportunity that expands in this space for you to be able to be exalted for that, be able to be seen for that. And right now, with this new moon energy, especially in that regal, tapping into that regal constellation that at 16 degrees, you know, you really want to be intentional about how you're honing in on what this is, this thing that you value, and making sure anything else in your life that is not of value is not playing out as a distraction. You know, when it comes into creative processes, not playing out as a distraction. When it comes into things you know you want to pour into in some type of shape or form. Now, Gemini, you are mutable air, so you do consider the thoughts of a lot of others a lot. You consider the thoughts of other people. Make sure that doesn't deter you from anything that you know you're really passionate about, something that been on the spirit, been on the subconscious in some type of shape or form. All right, so make sure that's going on around this time, because on the daily, you're dealing with a lot of different thoughts being thrown at you, not just you, like external thoughts thrown at you, whether people seeking advice, people critiquing you about certain things in different type of shape or form, trying to extend some type of information to you. So right now, a lot of that's going to be going on about love matters and your values. Maybe a lot of different critique coming at you right now about the person you dating, a lot of different critique coming from the person you dating in some type of shape or form, something that people know that your heart is in, that you're trying to grow. You may be gaining a lot of eyes around this time. So that's really good. Stay intentional and concentrated on what you're creating and building. For the most part, with allow yourself to go through the motions of different forms of feedback. All right, you're one of the signs that get critiqued a lot, just being a Mercury sign. All right, that's why we drag Geminis a lot. We drag y'all a lot in general, right? It's just it comes with the Mercury territory. All right, so these are things you just want to be aware about right now. People are very aware and very in tune with your actions right now, with your actions and your behavior, Gemini. You cannot get away with things right now. People are going to be bringing up things you say around this time later in the phase of the year, later in the Jupiter and Gemini phase. So you're really on the stage right now. So you want to manipulate this energy for things you know you could be able to give life, some sense of life and vitality to, once again, something that dealing with aspirations, something you want to see change within your personal life. Just that, know that Saturn energy is going to be applied. It has to be applied to the first house into your actions. So there's going to be a lot of blueprint energy that's going to have to be established around this time. Once again, anything that feels like a restriction in your personal life around this time is very significant, because that's something that might be holding back new moon opportunities, things that should be in the first house already, things that you should be on personally already. So that's not nothing to take lightly at all, especially if you're trying to participate into something, right? You're trying to connect with somebody in some type of shape or form, and you're feeling resistance. That may be something that's not in favor of where you're supposed to be heading right now, Gemini. All right, so hopefully those couple of things help y'all navigate this energy. Once again, Saturn is the only thing bringing friction in this area. So what's that? Saturn is in your 10th. Saturn is in your 10th. Saturn is in the 10th house. So Gemini, you always got opportunity to be exalted for your knowledge in some type of shape or form in career, and now you've been most likely project building around that. So I think this is a huge opportunity for you to embrace being seen for these things that you may be placing a lot of time into building and structuring in your 10th house already. It may be some new things to regulate in career right now that you need to be proactive about. You need to be expressive about. You need to make sure, if you feel like the universe is trying to make you pay attention to a certain way of navigating career, something dealing with project building. Remember, Mercury, critical analysis, seeing different details to things that's affecting business branding right now. Those are all things that's trying to gain your awareness. All right. So that's what we got going on, Gemini. Now, our hot seat signs, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces, starting with Sagittarius. So we kind of briefly hovered over the mutables and the hot seat signs to open up the energy, because I just feel like I need an extra prayer. All right. But Sagittarius, This energy taking place in your 7th house right now. Sagittarius sun rises energy taking place in your 7th house right now. Okay, so Lord have mercy. You're in a strong mating phase right now. Sagittarius dominance. You got Venus in the 7th house. So you know you coming out. You know motherfuckers is trying to see what's to you for real. When Venus be in the 7th house, see, that's the thing about Venus, man. That's the thing. You know, when planets is in the places they're supposed to be, it's more of a environment to experience the peaks of this energy. So when Venus in that 7th house, somebody trying to run down on you, like somebody trying to get your number, somebody's trying to see what's to you. Venus in the 7th house, you post a pic around this time, mad people jumping out the woodwork, people will never talk to you. Now you post a little nice selfie or something. You don't really post on your Instagram like that. You post a little something, Venus 7th house, motherfuckers is back in your DMs, right? Somebody that was trying to mess with you back in the day, but they was like coming with like 50-50 energy. So you're like, I'm not a 50-50 nigga. You're going to come 100% with me. Like, you making me feel like I'm the number 2 or 3 option here. And then I'm good. But now, you know, your boy popped back up in church or something. Now I got a DM. So it might be that type of situation. You feel me? It might be that type of situation. So Sagittarius, there's a lot going on in that 7th house. And guess what? I love y'all Sagittarius, but Lord have mercy, y'all middle name is Thrill. Y'all middle name is Thrill. Okay, you got Gemini in the 7th house. So it's always going to be a lot of interaction in this area. So with all this going on, I say all that to say, how you are, there has to be a value system here. And Saturn's hitting these energies. Saturn's hitting Venus and the sun and moon and everything in your 7th house. And Saturn don't play about the 7th house. He bang with the 7th house. So he looking at the sun, moon, and Venus, making sure y'all acting right there, aka your actions, your reactions, what you're participating in your partnerships, how you're viewing the potential of partnerships, and having a realistic outlook on all of that. Having a realistic outlook on all of that. You connecting with somebody, you building with somebody, Sagittarius, your values is not aligning up in some type of shape or form. Romantic relationship, business partnership. It don't matter. It don't matter. Saturn wants to make sure these things, values are established, you know, from a practical space. So thrills and potential energy can only go so far right now in your relationship life, Sagittarius. This might not be the time to just do things for fun around this time, Sagittarius, all right? It's a little bit too much karmic energies hitting that Venus and sun and moon. But like I said, strong mating space, all right? Sun, moon, transit in the 7th house just activates the 7th house dealing with relationship activity. But then you got Venus home here. So this is more potential to actually get closer to harmonious relationships and attract certain people that you may be already connected to in certain soul bodies to be able to come and, you know, play out as support systems in your life. You know, the more Venus is held in a healthy space in our life, especially you understanding your Venus placement. I spoke about this in my relationship masterclass, but understanding that Venus is going to attract what it values, where it's at. When you are able to keep your values in a healthy space, you're continuously manifesting support systems in that space. Just like when Venus is valuing negative things, you got attachment to negative things. Oh, you get enablers. So just look at your Venus house. Somebody supporting the bullshit you be on in that house, or the empowering positive evolution you trying to get established in that area in some type of shape or form. All right. And then this also gets deep into the traits in our mates. All right. So, but anyways, some of y'all may remember that segment of the class, you know, vetting long-term commitment, this, that, and the third, vetting the positive and negative frequency vibration of things in the traits of mates you attract, just simply by looking at you know, certain traits with your Venus placement in the sign it's in. But when we're looking at that going on, Sagittarius, like, you know, just because it feel good right now, just because they're making it sound good, now there got to be some reality, got to be a plan, it got to be some type of blueprint going on with how we're taking what we believe we both value and making it something that we could both commit to. You know, up in the air energy right now. And that's another thing with all this Gemini energy. People are getting away with murder, keeping other people up in the air. That's what Saturn's not going for. Saturn's not going for that. Saturn is in Pisces over here like, look, I'm already a year down getting Pisces together over here. I got Pisces placing boundaries. I got Pisces placing boundaries. I got Pisces blocking people. All right. I got Pisces embracing the healing process. I got Pisces realizing what things trigger their trauma responses. Okay. I got Pisces going sober. I got Pisces having the courage to confront the reality to their partnerships. So Saturn is in Pisces over there going to work. You don't got time for all this interaction to get chaotic and throw things off over there. Okay, now, so Sagittarius, this is your 7th house, and Saturn's in your 4th. Sagittarius, no, Gemini. Yes, the Pisces in your 4th. Pisces in your 4th house, Gemini. Sagittarius sun rising. So there's a lot of work you've been doing in this past year, understanding how to stabilize things with your emotional well-being, and relationship activity may have triggered that process because already a square house. Something dealing with relationship activity or connection in the past year, Sagittarius sun rising, may have triggered a process for you to learn how to start honoring how you nurture your own 4th house, and how you allow yourself to participate in circumstances where you're not doing that. You're allowing somebody else to play you in some type of shape or form. You're lying to yourself about how a certain experience providing a certain thrill, but it's unfulfilling in a certain way. So in some type of shape or form, in this past year, a lot of my Sag dominance in the building, a lot of my Sag sun rises may have had these type of breakthroughs of experiences. So now's just a great time to make sure you're cementing, that new philosophy here of how you're conducting yourself with your partnerships, and make sure you're excreting value out of it. You want to have like a little challenge with yourself around this season, around Jupiter and Gemini, making sure you're allowing yourself to only surround yourself and build more, fulfilling, substance. Now, and I'm not trying to say Sagittarius, y'all just have relationships on no substance. I just know the mutable sign. Y'all very flexible. Y'all could be y'all trying to be here for everybody in the world, but things are just very enticing with Gemini in the 7th house. Things could be very enticing here. We know Sagittarius, Gemini dealing with curiosity. It's dealing with curiosity. You got a lot of other people building your curiosity with Gemini in the 7th house because they always expressing to you different details of things probably going on in their relationship life or things that they're doing in their life in general. So many different perspectives about other people's interactions that may stimulate things you may want to experience in relationship activity. So it just be a lot going on Sagittarius and rising. Trust me, I know. Okay. So now that we have that Saturn energy coming from the 4th house, if it don't feel like it's going to be something that helps stabilize your 4th house, helps you feel comfortable with it, you feel like this is something you could comfortably commit to. Keywords: 4th house, comfortable, Saturn, commitment. So you are dealing with a lot of situations right now that may, if you're a part of any type of partnership that y'all are jacking, that y'all are dealing with some type of commitment, but you ain't really in it, that just may blow up around this time because there's strong commitment energy hitting your 7th house. All right, take that into all different type of partnerships, especially like I said, business partnership, collaborative effort. You want to make sure y'all have a system and y'all not just winging it, because time is money and money is time. All right, Sagittarius sun rising. So that's what we got going on, being on that hot seat. Virgo suns, Virgo risings. We got this, so we got what? All this going on in the 10th house, Virgo suns, Virgo risings. Yeah, that's what it is. Yes. All of this going on in the 10th house. And Saturn's in that 7th, man. Listen, let me tell you something, Virgo sun, Virgo rising. Let me tell you something right now. Virgos, you know I began on y'all all the time about things dealing with y'all suppressing y'all true value, and how y'all let being in incognito mode sometime. You don't be knowing how incognito mode be discouraging opportunities at times. Sometimes Virgos be, like I said, look, Michael Jackson coming up in my head. Michael Jackson always gonna come in my head when I talk about the Virgo. Michael Jackson looked like he do not want to step on people's toes. He talked like he do not want to wake nobody up. All right, this nigga the best performer of all time. Okay, he heavily critique himself. So Virgo just got that heavily critical nature of themselves. Motherfuckers be the most talented motherfuckers doing some shit in their personal life. And that's where in Gemini in the 10th house comes in the life path for my Virgo sun's rises. You better start interacting and relating that Mercury, or all the things that you got up here, all the things you be experimenting on, all the things you be healing, all the things you nurturing, all the things you have the ability to manage. All right, interacted, communicated. Give us the ideology in the 10th house. We will exalt you for that. All right. Don't just try to keep it all up in your first house now, Virgo sun rising. Okay. So this is this dynamic going on with the stellium in your 10th. Okay. We know how your mind works. We know you know how to see the detail, the things dealing with building instruction with other people out in the world. It's mutable earth. So it's earth, but it move. It move. It ain't, it's different, you know. It move. All right. So there's going to be a lot of realizations about different ways the world see you around this time, Virgo. You may even be dealing with a lot of pressure, feeling like there's something in this first house. You got to bring it to the 10th. You got to start embracing the self-identity that comes with you, that comes with something dealing with a creative endeavor. You may need to stop lying to yourself around this time, thinking, because sometimes, Virgo, you create little concepts in your mind of why you shouldn't take something that you're passionate about or aspiration and structure it. Maybe a whole talent you have, everybody tell you should do something with it, but your excuse is like, you know, I don't think I think certain talent should be kept to yourself. I don't really believe in hustle culture. You know, I just Virgo, sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. Okay. All right. Lord have mercy, you the best chef I've ever seen. All right. How do you grill the asparagus to this crisp? All right, Virgos. Okay, y'all be thinking we be lying. Virgos be thinking family relationships close to home to Virgo. Y'all be thinking we be gassing it to a certain extent. Virgos start hearing that shit for a decade, start realizing they talented with something. All right. But it could just be that natural theme of getting over certain humps, really embracing your value. Venus, this is the detriment Venus sign. So this is just, you know, some of the things the life path of Virgo's sun, especially like Venus and Virgos, just have to experience at times in life, learning to really, you know, empower self, you know, reaffirm to self like, yo, this is my motherfucking value. Let me stop fucking doubting and questioning it. Like, it's been confirmed mad different times. It's not something like I'm trying to find validation of or trying to see if I'm good at. Like, no, people really be telling me this all the fuck the time. All right. Mercury. So you're going to get critiqued. So Gemini and Virgo signs are also signs that learn their gifts quick because you're under your life is especially if you're rising, you have strong Mercury presence in your life. So it's almost like you under a motherfucking magnifying glass from a child. You may get criticized way more than your siblings and everything, just having strong Mercury placements. All right, so you kind of learn. Motherfuckers in the external realm start telling you things about you, you know, especially, you know, third house energy. You go to school, one of your friends start telling other people in school that you good with this and that third, you good at playing 2K or something. Then another nigga that think he the best in 2K is like, let me play that nigga in 2K. Then you beat that nigga for money. Now there's a 2K contest going on in your neighborhood, and now you profiting off of it. Then 2K want to do a sponsor deal with you. Now you opportunity blow up in your life. All right, so it should be crazy. But with that being said, though, Virgo sunrise, that's a lot of a theme. There's a real strong theme going on with all these 10th house energies and a lot of creation and birth energy going on in your 10th house right now. So that's going to result in a lot of different Gemini interactions and circumstances connecting with other people, them being used, that circumstance, that conversation, and that person being used to highlight these things to bring further confirmation. But depending on what type of Virgo sun rising you are, God may have already been confirming things. He's like, no, I'm not going to, no, they're not going to get it this easy, this new moon. I just want them to feel it. I'm not going to give them no extra confirmation. Like, I'm going to make sure when they look at the time, it changed from 11:11 to 11:12. I ain't giving them nothing. No. So it depends where you at with your relationship with God. But that's what's going on in the 10th house in general. Jupiter's in this 10th house for a year now. So it's all different type of experimentation you want to dive headfirst into when it comes into doing new things, career, especially with something that, you know, you've been presented. Another thing that's good for this placement right now, Virgo sun rises, any Virgo sun rises that deal with a phase with Jupiter in the 10th house where you get to travel somewhere else for a career or whatnot, or, you know, you get to work in another state or somewhere else and they're going to be paying you more there for like 3 months, 6 months, some things like that, like being abroad or whatnot around career activity. All of that is great opportunity right now, like Jupiter being in that 10th house. All right. But yes, that's a lot what's going on. So I want all my Virgo sun rising to be very intentional about, you know, either the shift, the opportunities, the direction you want things amongst social status, project building career to take around this time, but it's gonna be a lot going on around this time with you having to embrace communicating and relating things that might have been kept to yourself in this first house. All right, it's the time to embrace being seen for it and deal with all responsibilities that come with being seen with something dealing with your creative endeavors and the feedback of the world. All right, Gemini in the 10th house. All right, get comfortable with it, Virgo sun risings. Okay, and Saturn's in that 7th house, man. Saturn in that 7th house, getting the relationship activity all tightened up, no matter how it got to tighten it up. You got to tighten up through a divorce. It got to tighten it up, bringing you close to a soulmate that you're ready to deal with now. It got to tighten up, bringing you back to somebody else that was a soulmate, but you couldn't work the shit out the first time. But now y'all done healed some shit, learned some shit, give it another go around. So Saturn is helping you find, where you could be committed at and what relationship values to be committed to, and help you gain more discernment around what type of traits, cycles you should be aware of, with relationship activity, okay? And that energy squaring what's going on in the 10th house right now, Virgo sun rising. So you got to make sure, partnership activity, how much you participate into it, how much you may either feel drained, you may feel healthy in connections, you may feel, received in your connections. Like all of this has to be, accounted for when it comes into what you got going, what you're trying to create and birth in the 10th house. So AKA, if there's no real system format on how partnerships that revolving around career endeavors, that if there's no system around what y'all guys are working on, how y'all building things, whose priority responsibilities is what, then these are things that could leave little loose screws on creative endeavors around this time. So you just want to make sure that's tightened up around this time, Virgo sun rises. Also, Saturn, that 7th house hitting these energies, it may be certain things that's going to really need to embrace some real life communication, thorough, transparent communication to get to the reality of something dealing with partnership energy around this time as well. Saturn squaring Venus. Negative side, feeling like love is restricted and it isn't received. Positive side, effort towards working on love, effort towards building on love, effort, both parties placing effort towards restricting things that affect the potential of their love, affect the potential of their mating. Know the difference in all of these different circumstances around this time. That's for everybody, but especially with my Virgo sun's risings, you got that Saturn going on in that 7th house, hitting these interactive, communicating like energies in this space. So that's just something you want to make sure y'all are pointing out around this time. Could be a little bit imbalanced dealing with priorities, building this and how you participate in your partnerships. Just try to be your best to be open about it and not try to come off too perfect and feel like you can hold up all obligations, priorities. Because Virgo, that's what y'all end up doing. Last thing I'm gonna say here, Virgo, y'all end up doing that when y'all get caught up with a lot of relationship, partnership, interaction, activity in your life. Sometimes y'all really will tell everybody that you good to show up for this event, you good to make dinner for that event, you good to bring cupcakes here, you could pick this person up. You have a whole week of that shit. And see, I'm different. I'm a Libra. I might say that shit, but day of Virgo ass gonna show up damn near driving on their 4th cup of coffee, slept 1 hour in the past 2 days. Like, you okay? Yeah, I'm good to job. You good? All right, come on. Said you pick you up. I'm here. I'm on time, 5 o'clock. All right, let's take this Red Bull real quick. No, I'm good to job. Just put your seatbelt on. Hold on, you might need a helmet. I got a helmet in the back. Go ahead, grab that helmet. Just make it a little rough. Virgo, sit your ass down and tell somebody you'll take a rain check like a mug. So the imbalance is getting that together between priorities, responsibilities with something you're building and crafting, especially just natural career responsibilities and agendas, and finding that balance between relationship activity. Okay, so that's what's going on there for my Virgos. And last hot seat sign. Wait, is that everybody? I did Virgos, Sag, Pisces. Yeah, that's the last one. Okay, all the hot seat signs, all the mutable signs. All right, now let's shift it over to the birthday cousins. All right, shout out to the air signs, man. Shout out to the Libras, man. Shout out to the Aquarius, Libra. They up in the club right now for the free VIP. It's Gemini birthday. The strippers is going crazy and whatnot. Niggas is throwing money. Aquarius and Libra get to be in the club, pick up a couple of ones, nobody looking. I want to make love in this club. You know a nigga just stole in the club with a nigga OD singing a song that's not even really a song. Niggas like, I want to make love in this club. Let me check your pockets, brother. That's how you know a nigga stealing. Nigga trying to blend in back into the club society after stealing. You see these little tactics with these little sneaky air sounds, y'all. But anyways, Aquarius and Libra is in the building. So look, first of all, with all this being said, birthday trine signs, y'all could be the most reckless niggas right now. Air signs, y'all could just be reckless. So I know Gemini already dealing with a lot of karma. Gemini, everybody looking at Gemini. Gemini walking a thin line. It's easy for Gemini to realize right now, everybody paying attention to it. Their partners is taking every single inch, it's soaking up, consuming everything about their actions and their expressions at the moment. So Gemini feel that critical analysis like energy on the stage right now. Everybody paying attention to it. Aquarius and Libra may try to act like people ain't paying attention to them. Aquarius and Libra may try to act like right now in their partnerships, they could be incognito in their own relationship. Like, no, stop. And on top of that, Aquarius and Libra right now, because there's so much interaction energy, Aquarius and Libra, depending on how you deal with relationship activity as an air sign in your life, you get caught up in all different type of things right now. You get caught up in all different type of imbalances right now. Okay, so priorities and obligations, agenda building, scheduling, routine, all that is very important for air signs right now in general. A lot of discernment who you participate into things with other people. Okay, I think there's going to be a lot of influences right now with air dominance, once again, being able to get exalted or highlighted for something dealing with their ideologies, with something dealing with your perspectives, how you think about things, especially if you can step up to the plate and go ahead and just push that thought out, communicate or whatnot. So a lot of things could just expand for the air signs, especially if you already deal with certain creative endeavors, you already deal with certain environments that deal with your communication being displayed, your analysis about things being displayed in some type of shape or form. So, yeah, and a lot of air signs may be the shoulder to lean on right now when it comes into relationship activity, because there's a lot of change of thoughts that people are experiencing with mates, with business partners. So you're making commitments, you're dealing with a level of excitement, a thrill, potential energy. Once again, we got very happy-go-lucky planets in Geminis. Venus is the sun, the Jupiter is everything come off so entertaining, look good, is exciting, you know. That's why Saturn is so important in this phase, making sure that we could have something established with these commitments that we're making around this time, guys. So when it come into the air signs, you be the end of Gemini season. You got all different type of priorities, obligations in your partnerships or whatnot. You can't uphold not one of the mugs. So just be very conscious of this, air signs. Now, Aquarius. All right. So this is going on in your fifth house. All right. Excuse me. That is wrong. No, I'm right. Gemini in the fifth. Aquarius rising? Yeah, they do. I'm bugging. So yeah, Gemini, Aquarius rising, got Gemini in the fifth. And you know, Aquarius sun rising, this is definitely a time that there's going to be a new level of this is a great phase for a new level of experimentation with displaying things on the stage. There's going to be a great phase for that, especially with Jupiter in the fifth house. See, thing about Jupiter transit in the fifth house, it makes sure that you're going to gain some awareness and through exploring something dealing with anything that, you know, this house is calling you to put on the stage. Now, you got Gemini in the fifth house. So anything dealing with, once again, your critical analysis, things dealing with familiarity of your surroundings, you know, your familiar traditions, cultures, ideologies, concepts from your local surroundings being displayed through your art, your creative presentation, anything through how you give awareness, through whatever format. These things create a lot of opportunity in the fifth house. All right. Gemini in the fifth house makes some good actors. Okay. I'm almost forgot I'm like Aquarius. This is my placement. I'm up here like, what's house Gemini in? So this, I already told you, I already have passions for film and this, that, and the third. So, Gemini in the 5th house will like to play with the duality of the flexibility of characters, jumping into different mentalities. When it comes into the 5th house, you already know Gemini is a very charismatic sign once again. So it's art forms as Aquarius sun rising. You got Gemini in the 5th house. Your art forms or how you display things from an entertainment, creative, artistic point of view can relate to a lot of different places, a lot of different faces and spaces. Okay, so right now all these energies in this house, the sun is home. Okay, so you're naturally going to be center stage around this time, Aquarius. You're naturally going to be center stage in your life for things dealing with your mind, for things dealing with, how unique you communicate and express things. Groups and communities you're a part of, your brilliance, your ideologies about things, or your form of bringing, a different idea how to do something, manifest something amongst this group work, that's going to get exalted right now. That could get its praise right now. So you really want to embrace, how, your mind works, whether you've manifested situations in your life coming off opposing or rebellious or whatnot. No, there's a strong intrigue to see how your mind works right now. There's a strong intrigue to see, what this Aquarius artist is going to speak about on that album this year, so things dealing with your creative awareness as well too. Like you want to go ahead and embrace anything that's against the grain, all these different things that we highlight with Aquarius energy. As far as the originality, these things can get center staged heavy around this time. All right, direct access to being seen for these things. Now, you're also going to be this placement will challenge you to see how much you value these things, though. Right, so we got Venus trining you right now. So you may have other people, trying to exalt you or, support, uplift, encourage certain things dealing with your creative endeavors, something that you're good at. And that may show like, damn, they more excited about me doing something than I am. So you're going to look in the mirror around this time, seeing how much you really value things that other people see that's good in you, and you need to learn how to value these things. Now, it's not a square opposition. It's a trine. It's all trine. So there's a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of revelations, a lot of new understandings about things. And partnerships in general, just everybody's partnerships in general could go through a lot of transformation with 5 planets about to be in a air sign in the new moon time. So many reasons why his transformations could take place. People feeling like relationships holding them back. It's new moon time. I got to cut this off so I could expand and grow. You may not be saying that verbatim in your head, but spiritually, that's what's going on. So many different reasons why you could do a relationship transformation with a 5-planet new moon stellium in Gemini. So Aquarius and Libras, y'all being in the club signs, y'all got to make sure that you understand why these relationships taking changing the way that they should, being careful of not trying to impose your comfort zone, because you should feel comfortable dealing with interaction, air energy, but you could be a little bit too comfortable trying to impose your ideologies on others instead of letting certain relationships transpire the way that they should, expire the way that they should. So don't become a little bit too egotistical around this time, trying to just, manipulate all partnerships the way that you feel like you can to a degree. All right. So that's what's going on with Aquarius energy. And Saturn is hitting this from the square in the 5th house. Ooh, Saturn is squaring from the 8th. Saturn is squaring from the 8th. All right. So wait. Gemini in the 5th. 2nd, my bad. Saturn is squaring from the 2nd. I'm tripping. So Saturn is squaring from the 2nd house. So Aquarius sun risings, there could be a lot of things in this past year with Saturn that you've been learning with how to manage finances, seeing finances go up and down depending on what you valuing, how you value the time spent or the effort spent to build stability and security. So a lot of karma and discipline around that. Now that energy is squaring the 5th house. A lot of Aquarius sun risings is learning to take their resources and their support systems and aligning with things that they want to birth and see the value in that. Seeing the value. Remember, the 2nd house already dealing with your values too right now. So Saturn in the 2nd house is trying to help you to understand what value you have by, going through certain. There's a lot of people, Aquarius sun rises. You got Saturn in the 2nd house. There's a lot of situations where Saturn will put you in a back against the wall type of circumstance here for you to try to evoke or give life to building a new system around using a talent or something that you're already good at as a new system of building in your life here. So it get a little deep with Saturn in the second house. Y'all know Saturn, like that earth element, is already dealing with structuring and building. The second house dealing with that I have aspect to it. And you got Pisces here. So when it comes to all creative awareness and talents, things that you're good at, things you could use as tools, things you've been had to use as tools since day one, any of that that's been suppressed here, Saturn been going to work this past year, trying to kind of make you feel like this might be the only thing I have to use left for stability and security, or damn, like just creating a lot of circumstances for you to learn how to look at these things as a tool and a resource. So now that we got all of this popping off in your fifth house, this is a great time to see how to integrate, you know, that feel of really valuing the creative process, really valuing the commitment towards something in the creative process, and eliminating anything that doesn't support that, eliminating anything that, especially your own ways of, you know, looking at things from a pessimistic level. And Aquarius, you know how you do sometimes, you know, Aquarius sunrise, y'all have some I always say y'all got some high ass thoughts. So very brilliant. You know, a lot of the smartest people on this earth is Aquariuses, but sometimes y'all shoot yourself in the foot trying to, almost not condense things into one day at a time when it comes into such a grand idea. All right. And something I could relate to with Aquarius is that we both the sun debilitating Aquarius, it falls in Libra. So sometimes we try to develop, that creates a pattern with a Libra and Aquarius dominance, where we try to create mental shortcuts for things, for these big ideas, for these big aspirations. We trying to, you know, find different ways to take the least action, when the opposite signs, Aries, Leo, they have all the vitality in the world. They'll exhaust themselves every day in the action to get to where they're trying to get. So Aquarius and Libra dominance always have to be conscious of how have a good self-check system to see, am I trying to create shortcuts for myself? Am I trying to eliminate the work? I do believe in working smarter, not harder, but that is a thin line between these concepts here. So that's just something I want Aquarius just to keep in mind around this time. All right. But yes, aligning your value with something dealing with the creative process, and then dealing with that commitment, and analyzing all different factors that, you know, may shy you away from pouring some value and creating a system foundation for something to grow in that fifth house. All right. So that's what we got going on there. And then Libra. So we have Gemini in the ninth house, Libra. We have Gemini in the ninth house. So Libra, there's a lot going on with you having to be held to a wiser regard with your relationships. Everything with the ninth house gets philosophical. So there's a lot of karma with you not applying past relationship experience into current cycles right now. So this new moon energy can not feel as, you know, prosperous being a in the club cousin sign if there's certain ways that you've been conducting yourself in an immature way, in an unevolved way. When you're already past test, you already understand that relationships need these certain fundamentals, these certain aspects to be harmonious, or, you know, whatever the theme may be with relationship activity and communication and connecting. You're being held to be a teacher in this space around this time, to be seen as somebody that's knowledgeable and could take, you know, some of the initiative and give insight on navigating relationship activity. You know, literally this Gemini season by default, you might have been teaching a lot of people about things with relationship experiences. You're giving game to your child, you're giving game to your sibling, to your friend about some of the past experience. You older than them, they're going through something for the first time. So you might be a little, a sense of insight and guidance right now for such a relationship close to home with relationship experience. All right. Now, the thing here though is the ninth house is very chaotic and can get it's dealing with higher learning, education, spiritual development. Yeah, that sounds good, but it's dealing with experiences, exploration. So you get all this activity here. It could be no sense of regimen in your life right now, Libra. Could be no sense of regimen in this mug. Whenever the ninth house is dealing with a lot of activity, then life starts turning into I'm gonna wing it today. Fucking agenda. I'm gonna just wing it. See where the weather takes me. If it feels like a little hoey outside, I guess that's the vibe for the day. If it feels a little gloomy, I'm gonna stay inside. I'm gonna let the day take me. If you're a little too comfortable with that concept right now, it could be a lack of It could be a lack of attentiveness towards your agenda right now. The ninth house don't like none of that routine, schedule like energy, anything a schedule routine like could be a nuisance right now, Libra, but you have to make sure you understand what's priority, what's responsibility, especially when it comes into, obligations you may have to uphold with people right now. Can't be no bailing out in these situations. And once again, you're supposed to be seen as the one that is a little bit more wise than a relationship activity. Aquarius too. It's just that ninth house influence. When you got all these energies in your ninth, you held to a certain regard. Ninth house activity, Jupiter's home, Libra sun risings, Jupiter's home. So there's a lot of situations now when your relationship experience once again could get exalted here. There's going to be some new things you experience in your relationships. It's most likely going to be something you ain't really experienced in your past relationships that might go down around this time, being in such a having all this type of activity, Jupiter and Gemini in the ninth. But it's just important how when your intuition says, I should communicate this, I should navigate relationship activity like this right now. Maybe I should isolate right now. Maybe I'm too bombarded with relationship activity. I'm feeling drained. Maybe I shouldn't create another priority responsibility here. Like all those different inner voices right there, hone in on that, hone in on those things. But we also got Saturn. Nonetheless, trine signs, this is a time full of opportunity for y'all. So I'm really just trying to throw out red flag situations, things that could get in the way of natural opportunities and success coming to your way, or opportunities to expand certain things in your life. All right. I just want to make sure I throw these different themes out there. But Saturn is in, we talk about Libra sun rising. Saturn's in the sixth. Yes, Saturn's in the sixth. So speaking of ninth house, don't like none of that routine regimen energy. We're gonna wake up, experience, explore some ish. We'll do it again tomorrow. All right. And there's just a strong intrigue going on right now when it comes into you being able to expand and learn other things outside of your familiar surroundings. Libra sun rising, they got to leave the hood this phase. Jupiter's in the ninth. You got to leave the hood. Okay. So when it comes into the sun, Mercury, and Venus in here, now there's actual activity trying to bring you out the hood. All right. It's a new experience with love that's influence you to show up a different way than you usually show up in your relationships, right? There's Mercury in here. There's new perspectives you're realizing from past relationships. And this is developing new philosophy on how you conduct yourself in relationship activity. So all this philosophy, download, revelation energy is just heavy around you around this time, Libra sun rising. But with great awareness come great responsibility. I'm going to make that a t-shirt. With great awareness come great responsibility. So, a theme that I always see, I've been seeing a lot lately, the more power in a certain area, be actually more responsibility to deal with in a certain area in the natal chart, or just from a spiritual perspective. Like God not going to let you play with your gifts. So when we're looking at that, when we're looking at Saturn in the sixth, Libra sun rising, you can tell me all about how much karma you might have dealt with as of this past year, with a lack of attentiveness towards your schedule, regimen, agenda. Probably got fired, probably got laid off in different ways, probably had to deal with certain frustration in the workplace, but you still had to keep working there because it's something that supports you right now and is feeding a budget for this, or it's short term, or you have goals to navigate career this way. And Saturn wants to always see how bad we want something, how serious we are about something. So when it's transiting the sixth house, any forms of being lackadaisical when it comes into things dealing with just routine and our forms of wellness as well. All right. I can tell y'all right now, I'm feeling it. I've been just so consumed by different things mentally, spiritually, emotionally, that I've been off my rocker as a Libra sun, off my rocker with sixth house practices since Saturn been in this house. And I've been paying for it. All right. So it's like, I really want to extract that new sense of evolved discipline in this area. But, it comes from work. It comes from hardships. It comes from dealing with reality. Saturn, dealing with reality in this area, identifying that the only way we're going to heal this is through this practice and this exercise. The only way we're going to get stability and consistency in this area is by filtering this out, restricting that. This is a huge theme during the new moon, Libra sun rising, because it's hitting all this activity in the ninth house, aka things that you're catching a new intrigue for wanting to explore and experience in your life. You're seeing how you have to balance it out with certain responsibilities. You're seeing how, leaving the sixth house and your sense of wellness and your regimen unattended to can be a blockage sometimes and create more responsibility to deal with that blocks this area. So it's almost like this type of relationship going on in this area. And once again, all that energy of being seen as the more knowledgeable relationship activity with the ninth house presence, you got to make sure with Saturn squaring that energy around this time that not only is there a sense of pace to your relationship activity, but anything dealing with like a thrill and adventure, what's the purpose in it? You want to see the purpose of anything that come off really thrilling and adventure-like and exciting around this time. Is this something you never experienced before? Have you not did this before, Libra? All right. So air signs, be careful. Don't be out here running amok. Okay. Now, so those are in the club signs. Okay. So more birthday cousins, the sextile signs. All right. The sextile signs. So this is going to be my Leos and my Aries. All right. My Leos and the Aries. All right. So those best homies too. Those some of the good homies to the Gemini. The Aries and Leos be coming through for the Gemini. All right, these clicks right here be getting a lot of they a good schemey click. This click be coming up with schemes. That's a good word for y'all when these signs come together. Aries and Gemini and Leo. Oh yeah, these two right here got a scheme. They got some tricks up their sleeve. All right, air give that fire energy a body to travel with. So a lot of times Aries and Leo know they could count on Gemini to be a part of the mission for some shit. Okay, that's how I be with the sextile signs. All right, a lot of our best friends, a lot of our close best homies in our life got sextile placements. All right, so with that being said, Leo, this energy is taking place in your 11th. This energy is taking place in your 11th house. So Leo is all different type of interaction taking place in the external realm. You got Gemini in the 11th house. There's always a lot going on in the 11th house, and you're learning how to view the world through different, mentalities. Gemini, these two placements is why Leo know a lot of people. Leo sun's rising having that Gemini in 11th house. They got a lot going on in that 11th house. They always got mutual friends close to home, connecting them out to other environments, extending opportunities for them to enterprise and network with other spaces from relationships built from the home environment. So when you're watching a movie or some motherfucking drug dealer, I'm so ghetto. I gotta use drug dealer, but I'm the hood's guru. But like some drug dealer or whatnot, they start a little enterprise selling little nickel bags, and then motherfucker turn into on some what's the name? On some what's this nigga name? Snowfall, on some Franklin shit. Right? Start off a little bit of hustling, and it's like, nah, man, I really got to expand a little something. You got Gemini in 11th house. To all these different little local relationships, you get right to the plug, and now you got a whole network of some whole crazy shit going on. And it can get crazy because it's just different mentalities, different attitudes a part of, it's mutable 11th house. So Leo sun risings could be a part of communities and groups that share the same sentiment, share the same, value about something, but it could be from people from all different type of backgrounds at the same time. So it's just weird how that dynamic plays around. Not really weird, but it's just a lot going on with Gemini and 11th house as far as how they're able to interact with so many different people. A lot of Leo diamonds just know so many people. And when we look at the new moon taking place in this house, it's going to be a new perspective, new revelations going on with groups, communities that you're a part of right now, Leo sun rises. I think it's really important to make sure around this time that you're able to identify the context and resources. You're able to work things through, because Leo, you prideful as hell. All right, you prideful as hell, and sometimes being prideful is a good thing, right? You gotta have some pride in yourself. But for the most part, sometimes Leo, you may overcompensate trying to do something on your own because you want to take credit and be seen for the one. You want to share credit sometimes, but this is a harmonious time to realize how you have, certain context and resources that can help things you're trying to create, travel, connect more. You just got to hit them off a little tip, hit them off a little 5%, a little tip, a little something. They be all right. That's all. All right. You can't be stingy. All right. When God don't like scarcity now. Okay. Can't keep money to yourself. You got to spend it. Got to let it go a little bit. All right. It'll come back. Trust it'll come back. Okay. So Leo sun rises, I need y'all to be very aware around this time, around any type of intention setting of what other, access you got towards certain, environments, certain groups, communities, people in the world that could, basically complement anything that you're trying to create and build around this time. But because it's so much activity here, especially with Venus being here, there will be circumstances of potentially you guys realizing, like, values that are shared amongst groups and communities you're a part of do not align around this time. And that may make you feel like it's holding you back in some type of shape or form, something dealing with, personal aspirations. There may be something having to be expressed around this time in group communities. So you might be a part of a certain team or something or whatnot, or whatnot, and things are really imbalanced with different feelings and emotions about things. You don't want to have things be too chaotic around this time. Make sure you have a space where people like to just express themselves, communicate things, because it's going to be different type of, all this energy here shows different type of thoughts, feelings, and emotions in group settings and partnership like settings. So the only thing that's going to bring resolve is open-mindedness towards what everybody's thinking about some shit. All right. But you got it in a very interactive space, Leo Sun Risings. And sometimes Leo Sun Rises, you may not be too open. So you fix fire, so you may not be too open to what everybody else really thinking about and expressing. You might want your vision being exalted a little bit. That may be part of the issue going on. You feel like your vision and your awareness not exalted in this group partnership or something. But this is harmonious energy. It's a sextile, so it's harmonious access to getting thoughts on the same page amongst groups and environments that you're a part of, right? Social environments you're a part of. But we got Saturn squaring from the 8th house. We got Saturn squaring from the 8th house. So it may be things dealing with certain secrets, things that are hidden that's revealed to you around this time, especially by people that you're working with. And that may be a reason that something was restricted, aka you're trying to go to business with somebody or whatnot. They pressing you about, getting business done or something, getting some deal done with them in some type of business. I don't fucking know. And then you end up, there was always some restriction. There was a little bit of hesitancy you had signing your name on a dotted line and getting into this agreement with this person, but you're still considering it. Then you end up finding out something behind the scenes about this person. Saturn squaring from the 8th. Yes, you end up, this is very likely. You can end up getting investigative report on a brother or sister, and you start realizing that's why God wasn't letting me sign on the dotted line. That's why God wasn't letting me, jump into the standard third. So AKA this is a time where I don't want to say hidden agendas, but intentions and agendas have to be very clear when it comes amongst friendships in your social environment in general, if there's going to be commitment to build certain things together. All right. So that's very important. You want to make sure to keep that in mind. Maybe a new sense of refinement when it comes into some sense of law, structure, order amongst community groups and partnerships in general. Now, 8th house is also dealing with other people's resources. Saturn's probably been pulling opportunities to use that as a resource to help you bring stability into your life being in this 8th house. It may be a little bit of a concept of being able to manifest something where if you take action or express something or bring a certain concept, ideology, something to a certain area that could provide a sponsor or resource in some type of way. So anybody coming to you close to home telling you like, yo, I heard they're giving out this here, or I heard if we you're in the midst of a collaborative effect group with somebody, and they're realizing how y'all could extract resources from somebody else. That's something that should make a light bulb go off in your head. Like, yeah, I know I'm in that space right now. Let me go ahead and see what that's about. But Saturn's also managing attachments here as in the 8th house. So it's also managing creating new systems to help navigate things dealing with attachments, traumas, and security. So the fact that we got all this activity in the 11th house and it's squaring Saturn, this may be a time to overcome some fears dealing with, being in the midst of interacting with others, connecting some true passions and relating with others, dealing with the different transformations of your social spaces and not holding it too much in any more of a victim space and letting it be what it is. Leo Sun Risings, you got Saturn in the 8th house, so it may be certain ego deaths you're going through right now in general the past year. Certain things dealing with ego deaths you're going through. The 8th house energy triggers Leo energy at times because Leo don't want to hear nothing about not being able to embrace anything, not being able to embrace self-expression and being seen and deal with light energy. That's very discouraging to Leo energy. But right now, Saturn's in the 8th house, making you do a lot of work about things behind the scenes, things that you don't express to others, things you suppress around others, and that could affect expression around this time. So I just see that little imbalance there. Just make sure, depending on how you're feeling about self, anything that's challenging as far as, attachment, power, control issues, you're still able to see opportunity, being able to bring your talent, your light, your awareness, something you're good with, you're good at, into an interactive space with others. That's very important. All right. So that's what we got going on, Leo Sun Rises. And then Aries. All right. Aries, we got Gemini in the third. We got Gemini in the third house. Okay, so when it comes into the local surroundings, when it comes into certain familiar habits and ideologies, concepts you've been comfortable with looking at, like this is just what it is. This is a concept. This is something I've learned since from my adolescent stages. You know, I wouldn't change how I think about this in the third. That's a damn lie. All these placements is coming to your third house, and they're like, look, I know you went through this type of conditioning, or you had these type of influences in your environment, or you was taught this when you was younger. We're gonna expand about all of that right now. We finna expand about all that right now. A lot of Aries rises right now, not even finna be. Jupiter just came in your third house. Y'all barely finna be in y'all surroundings right now. Y'all barely finna be in y'all local surroundings this phase. You finna be traveling here. You finna be at auntie, uncle house. You finna probably move in with your best friend for a couple months. You not really finna be in your third house like that with Jupiter in the third house. This is more of a phase for you to bring third house things outside of the third house. So, because Jupiter bring that sense of expansion and spread. They bring a spread. All right. I like that. We bring a nice spread here. Okay. So with Jupiter energy in the third house, now we got an energy that wants to spread in with expansion in the local space. So right now, Aries Sun rises, you gotta allow yourself to make sure that the things that you have awareness about, you're not getting into those situations, getting brought down by your surroundings when there's something you have insight and awareness on how to build or create something, and that is not being received in your third house because people in your third house may have a condensed thought about something that cannot affect things that you're trying to create and build, or may want to connect and relate to others around this time in general, Aries. Where's Mars at? Mars at them end degrees. Mars at the end degrees right now, Aries. Okay. So you just went through a lot of personal transformation in general. You have a whole new evolved way of looking at your passions. You have a whole new evolved approach and attitude towards looking at your passions. Okay. So seeing that third house, you're seeing mentalities you made right now. A lot of remember, this is a sextile too. So right now, a lot of Aries Sun rises. Y'all seeing how things dealing with conditioning in your third house. Maybe at times you trying to hold obligation towards close friends, early friendships, it even could come down to family members to an extent here. And you're seeing how these things at times, either confide your personal expression and your personal passions, and you're seeing exactly who align with them. You're seeing any forms of conditioning that that played out in restricting your personal aspirations or help support them around this time. Venus is in the third house. Your support system and your surroundings is coming out of the woodworks. Somebody that swear they support you, swear they always there, but always be around. You're going to realize if they really around because they fuck with you or not with Venus in the third house, or they're around you for a motherfucking aesthetic. They're around your ass because something you provide, something they could overindulge into with you. Y'all be getting high together, motherfucker never buy no weed. Nigga never got no weed. Niggas always want to smoke and got no weed. How that work? Lord have mercy. I ain't really turn up too crazy this church service. I'm just trying to get to the word. But brothers and sisters be tweaking out sometimes. So right now, motherfucking, right now, every sunrise and realizing that shit. Nigga act like they doing something. I got some roll up. Motherfucker roll up. I don't give a fuck about the roll up. And papers cost $3. You done smoked about $300 the last 2 weeks. Get your ass on in my surroundings. That's what I swear to God, every sunrise is going through these different revelations about niggas in the third house. Nigga always want to smoke, just bring roll up. Nigga be mentioning shit I don't give a fuck about. Oh, I got a lighter. You finna smoke? I got a lighter. Give a fuck about your lighter, nigga. Acting like fire is some foreign rare element I can't find in this bitch to light my blunt. Oh, yeah, you finna smoke? Yeah, I'm about to pull out. I got a lighter. You need a lighter? Niggas be trying to support you with bullshit. So family, Aries Sun rises, pay attention to what's going on here. Pay attention to true colors, whatnot coming out with these relationships. All right. Now, all this emphasis with the sun here, Aries Sun rises in this beautiful sextile, and this new moon phase could be exalted for, once again, familiar traits, habits, things that's already familiar knowledge to you, things you could teach people about in your sleep. You may manifest opportunities in this interactive Jupiter space where people see what's familiar with you, but they see how you're not exalted for it in your environment. You feel me? You a gem of a talent in a certain space, and nobody in the space realizes you're a talent, and they're trying to connect you to a space to be seen for it. Expect these type of phases in general this could be heavy around this time because Sun, Venus, and Moon is what's going to bring out, is going to be like the energies to like bring out the talent, bring out what was already in the third house, what was already familiar. All right. But Jupiter's was going to bring in the influences for other people that's not really of your third house, other external forces that's not really your third house that could pull to expand things that's already in this area, you know, into other spaces and create opportunities. Okay. And it could be just a lot of change of your environment or in this Jupiter phase in general. So right now I want y'all to be intentional about what change you want that to be. All right. Now the square in Pisces is coming from, who are we talking about right now? Aries Sun rising. So the square is coming from the 12th house. 12th house to third house square. Saturn's in the 12th house right now, regulating a lot of things with your subconscious, with your conscious in general. Aries Sun rising, regulating a lot of things, dealing with things that you may guilt trip yourself about, you know, during this phase, things dealing with, you know, insecurities from creative endeavors and whatnot, not going in your favor, not going in your way, any negative conditioning around creative and imagination influences in your life. Saturn's getting into the root and trying to build up the ability to embrace the imagination, embrace, you know, new systems around building up creative and spiritual awareness. So now when we come into the third house, you got all this interaction going on here. Saturn's like, I'll be to hell. All right. I'll be damned if all that interaction going on in your local surroundings, throwing off all this goddamn stability I'm bringing into your subconscious and all this new sense of formatting I'm bringing into your creative and spiritual awareness. I'll be goddamn if you in that third house paying attention to everybody's mentality about something in their mug, everybody else's aspiration about something in their mug, downplaying your aspirations, what you want to create because of relationships close to home. Lord have mercy. To hell if your sibling, one of your somebody in your environment think, you know, has a certain critique about something that's been in alignment for you. You feel me? Maybe because of the personal feeling they have about something you're doing. You know, all these different things, you know, filtering out these different mentalities and ideas and critiques around something that, you know, you want to birth. That's going to be very important around this time. Aries Sun rising. Now you are Aries Sun rising, you're an individual, so it's a sextile. So that's the powerful thing about this sextile. You know, when Aries gets into an environment, a Gemini-like environment, they can remain individual. They can still be influenced by the thoughts of others, but Aries still wants to do what it wants to do. So you just got to be careful how certain critique, feedback discourages you, and you keep the same attitude of wanting to create and birth something around this time, but make sure that that sense of priority towards your wellness in general, that sense of priority towards things dealing with getting spirit right, regardless of what's going on in the material realm with Saturn in that 12th house, is very important. That has to stay solid and consistent around this time. And it's also showing that there may be some restriction going on with certain partnerships, relationships close to home, in your environment, just friendships in general, if they're not in alignment with certain new systems that's being developed in your 12th house around this time, Aries Sun rising. All right. So we got that going on there. Shout out to them best homie signs, the sextile signs. All right. Then we got the neighbor signs. Is that everybody? Is that everybody? The hot seats, the trines, Scorpio and Cap. Oh, okay. We still got Scorpio and Cap in conjunctions. Okay. So one more second, y'all. I've been drinking a lot of water, y'all. One more second, y'all. 1 second.
Me under the blood, me say me under the blood. Jesus cover me under the blood, me say me under the blood. Jesus, you be cover me under the blood. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood that Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me, I go break up, put the blood on me face just like a makeup. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood that Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me heart break up, put the blood on me face just like a makeup. Under the blood, under the blood, under the blood. Jesus cover me, under the blood. Jesus you be cover me, say under the blood. Under the blood, Jesus, you can cover me. Jump on this. Listen, Christian I fight some things with them not see. Stronghold demons and principality. Remember they are the temple. Keep it holy, sanctify, justify, give God the glory. Fighting against three terrible enemy. The world, Satan, and myself against me. Want the anointing, pour it on me, and make me trample the devil on it. Say.
All right. So, who we talking about? Okay, the neighbor signs and the in conjunct signs, the almost ops. The almost ops. All right, now why is it not letting me? Oh, excuse me now. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Okay. Now, let's start with let's start with the almost opposite and close it in with the neighbor signs. So almost opposite signs, we got Scorpio and Capricorn. All right, almost opposite, right next to the opposite sign, 150 degrees away. So this energy is like a mild friction, trying to get in alignment with Gemini energy. This Gemini navigation and influence. Shout out to all the Capricorns in the building. Let me see some tens. Then I even do my real number comment shout out thing, calling out all the signs, but all the Capricorns in the building. Let me see them tens in the chat. Let me see some Saturns. Let me see some Earth emojis. Oh, my Scorpios in the chat, man. Let me see them. I like using the comment. That's my Mars Pluto emoji in my head, the little comet emoji. All right, let me see some motherfucking water. Let me see something ferocious, something scary, something 8th house like. All right, don't be putting no eggplants in the comments, man. All right, now, anyways, so y'all some freaky. Y'all gonna take advantage to just be full public freaks. All right. That was a joke. Now, starting with Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, cardinal Earth. Okay, and this energy is taking place in your 8th house. Yes, Capricorn. This is taking place in your no, it's not. It's taking place in your 6th. I thought I said something was going on in somebody's 6th already, unless that was Saturn. I hope I did not mess somebody's houses up. Though I'm pretty sure somebody would have said in the comments, Boro, wrong house. I'm sure I would have caught that. I hope that didn't happen. All right. But so Capricorn, you got that. All this energy taking place in the 6th house right now. You got all this energy taking place in the 6th house right now. So yeah, there's some changes taking place with the workplace. There's some new, it's gonna be a whole new intrigue and inspiration for some for a new work system, a new way of working on something, new project building, new experimentation. You got Jupiter up in the 6th house now. So it's gonna be a level of expansion coming with dealing with your work routine and agenda in some type of shape or form. There's going to be some type of expansion going on with your work routine. So any type of environments dealing with the workplace that feels constricted or whatnot, there may be some frustration in different phases of this transit, but some type of shape or form, Jupiter's going to be like, yo, you know how to work on something like this. You know how to build something like this. Maybe that's our way of navigating this situation in some type of shape or form. So Jupiter is going to be pulling, especially when the Jupiter gets Jupiter starts tightening up a square with Saturn in Pisces. That's gonna be more so next, like maybe this time next year. I mean, I could fast forward right now, but it should be like around. Yeah. No, actually, it's going to be sooner than that. It's probably going to be like around New Year's time. It's going to start getting into a real little tight square with Saturn and Pisces, maybe. All right. My math might be a little off. But with that being said, yeah, there's just a lot going on right now. Capricorn Sun rising when it comes into tightening up that 6th house and allowing this to be an efficient space for personal aspirations, goals, or anything new that you're trying to create and build in general. There's a lot of new opportunities learning how to build things in this 6th house through other people. Sister Amber G, Jason, Michelle, Sister Mish in the building. All right. Lord have mercy, sacred artists. I miss you, just seeing you in these aisles regulating the church. All right. So Capricorn right now, there may be a lot of new people. It may be certain people in your life bringing some guidance and insight, especially this whole Jupiter phase. Even though Jupiter don't like being in this house, once again, it wants to expand. It don't like pattern and regimen and routine, and that is restriction to Jupiter. So Jupiter want to explore here. So that's why I just said what I was saying about the whole frustration theme, this, that, and the third. But when it comes into these energies in this area, being in Gemini, this is definitely a time where, you know, there's could be opportunities manifesting with relationships, you know, not too far away from home, you know, familiar relationships, providing some type of insight that can help you navigate something in the workplace, navigate how you gain stability right now. So they may be playing out as all different type of opportunities in that space, but nonetheless, the theme here is making sure that all information and knowledge that you have on healthy wellness practices is established right now. And right now, you know, it's very important right now, Capricorn Sun Rising, to make sure you understand how partnerships may have an effect on your mental health right now. It may be a huge influence on Capricorn Sun Risings. Also having taken your time, because once again, there's a lot going on. Things real fast into Jupiter, expanding things in the air sign, Gemini, and having Mercury in a sixth, having a Mercury influence in your sixth house already, Capricorn. So you got all that going on. But you have to have discernment, make sure you're not sped up to build things or project build with people, you know, against your decision-making process. You know, people being very persuasive to get you to participate in things with building things, and or getting you to participate in anything, and that's taken away from schedule, you know, keeping regiment, sixth house things intact. You know, Jupiter does have a strong influence on like holistic health and, you know, getting a bit more onto the spiritual side of things, dealing with your energetic diet in this house. So that's going to be an important theme all this year. And the sun, moon, and Venus and all that may just highlight this around this time, helping you see how you pour love into your sixth house. Venus is in here. So you may be doing a lot of experimenting and trying to work on different things to, build a relationship, keep relationship in a healthy space. You may be trying to bring new work methods into your relationship. Now, this is going to be really important from a love perspective, because Capricorn Sun Rising, you got all this energy going to sixth house project building, experimentation, science, all this energy of alchemizing things and seeing the building blocks to things. And then all this energy is conjunct Venus. And now when it comes into something dealing with love matters, and you're pouring this you're giving this effort to have this new system to tighten up your relationship with somebody that's in third and is not being received around this time, you know, that's going to be something to take an eye out on. That's something to not take lightly. I don't think nobody should take anything lightly. I don't think any sign should take anything lightly with a new moon conjunct Venus, and, you know, you trying to extend the love, and motherfuckers don't want to, they act like they don't want to receive it, or they don't want to participate in some love making with you, and some love building with you. I'll take that as a huge sign around this time, because anything that feels like a strong sense of rejection is either something we have to detach from, or we have to slow it up, because it's Saturn influence. So it's not always completely detaching and eliminating something. It could be a full restriction and boundary we have to place on something, but it could also be having to slow up the pace of something to gain more of a grasp of reality. So when it comes into my Capricorn Sun Rising, I see that going on in the sixth house. Make sure the effort that you're placing into trying to build a new system in a partnership that is reciprocated by the parties in that partnership. Now, Saturn is hitting the sixth house. Saturn's hitting the sixth house from the third. Yes. No. Yes. Saturn's hitting the Saturn Pisces in that third house, hitting the sixth. So, you know, it may be certain mentalities in your surroundings, activity in your surroundings, responsibilities, priorities you feel like you got to uphold in your surroundings, or certain friendships, social circles that impact on your schedule and regimen, impact on new things, that new system you want to bring into your schedule and regimen. So that's going to be important. Also seeing how, you know, the lack of intent, the lack to structure or build stability in people's lives that may surround you, or people that don't, are not attentive towards their responsibilities and their reality in general. It just may be a highlight on these type of individuals or environments around this time, so you don't adapt none of these mentalities here. All right, Saturn is a year down in the third house. It may have already placed a restriction or detached you from close friends. Maybe you're surrounded in some type of shape or form, either in an isolated space in your surroundings, or you've been outside of it a lot in some type of shape or form. And the relationships close to home may have some space, may have a little resistance in them right now, maybe part of things dealing with your development phase that you're in right now. So you got to see how that impacts the relationship with the sixth house, and seeing how, just helps you to filter out how you go about dealing with certain people in this area who can participate in your schedule, regimen, and how other people affect it. All right, Capricorn Sun rising. Then we got my Scorpios. Okay. And this energy is going on in your 8th house. This energy is going on in your 8th house, Scorpio Sun risings. Okay. So we got Jupiter uplifting the 8th house as new revelations coming to pass, traumas, past transformations in our life. We're realizing Scorpio Sun rising going to be realizing how you done attracted that motherfucking transformation. You're going to realize right now, there's a lot of situations with Scorpio rises. Lord have mercy, now that I'm really seeing it out. The Scorpio, you all these energies in the 8th house, the Jupiter uplifting, heavy 8th house energies. Scorpio, you will deal with some deep transformation, holding on to something that is screaming, let go right now. Now, it's going to be a whole phase. Jupiter is going to be in the 8th house, bringing a sense of philosophy towards, transformative life circumstances. This could be a phase of your life right now. You're going to get pushed towards the occult a bit more, towards the, the red pill and, the rabbit hole in general, see how deep things really go, and start to cultivate a new belief system around things dealing with agenda, dealing with, intentions of others. It get deep with Jupiter. Always get deep in the 8th house, but it get deep with Jupiter in the 8th house. So a lot of new ways to evolve and philosophies based off things that are heavy in the subconscious. It also has a lot of opportunity to, take things that were, hidden passions, goals, and motives, and have these things. This is a phase where you start getting more hands-off, experiencing these things, taking the time to, raise these goals and motives and passions to the surface, and start getting experimentational within these spaces. So now Saturn got all of that going on. I said Saturn. So that's Jupiter in the 8th house. But with all that being said, now we got this new moon with Venus in here. So that's another thing. Lord have mercy, Scorpio Sun rising. Your love matters may be real intense right now. It may be certain things you're realizing, maybe certain things being revealed around this time with love matters, especially this week, the week before, or the week after. But this week might be a lot of meats and potatoes when it comes into certain things in the dark being revealed to you in your partnerships, or you feeling like you need to do that, in your partnerships in some type of shape or form. Love matters can be transformative around this time. All right. But like I started this video saying, is a lot of Gemini energy. We want to keep things light as possible. Now we are in the 8th house. The 8th house is dealing with was heavy and was deep and dark, but we want to use this access of light communication, open-hearted, open-minded communication to connect what may be vulnerable, dark, or whatnot, so we could process transformation in the most rational way, in ways that things make sense, so we could find agreements and as much agreement energy in our partnerships as possible. All right, Venus and air can always help that, and new moon and Venus can always help that. So I just want everybody to make sure they still have that positive approach towards partnership energy, regardless of how different things transpire in our lives around this time. Now, so we got the moon and Venus, a new moon and Venus taking place in the 8th house. They both don't like to be there. Scorpio Sun rising, anticipate really having to deal with some vulnerability amongst your love language right now. Really having to embrace some type of intimacy that can make you feel a little bit, vulnerable is the word. Vulnerable may make you feel like you could walk into a situation where things aren't reciprocated. Trust issues might be triggered a bit around this time, but you are being pushed to embrace that connection, embrace the communication, relatability of what you really value, how you feel, how you value a situation at hand, dealing with somebody in a connective way. And, that Venus is definitely Venus and the moon. They're definitely trying to bring healing together wherever they're at. So it's in the 8th house. So it might have to be a lot of things this season with Mercury and Gemini that we have to identify, right? Critically identify with a magnifying glass as far as what's an attachment, what's a power and control issue, and these themes amongst partnerships, Gemini. So we could raise it up while Jupiter is here. But this is a lot of the basically what's going on while the new moon is here. Saturn is going to be squaring from the 5th. Saturn's going to be squaring from the 5th house. Scorpio sun rises. A lot of construction work taking place in the 5th house this past year. A lot of y'all turning your creative influences, your creative attributes into businesses. A lot of y'all seeing the back end, understanding how to work the front office, understanding how to work, the management, the system part of something dealing with a creative endeavor. A lot of y'all jumping in once again, turning them creative attributes into LLCs. Saturn up in that 5th house, right? Some of y'all getting more of a team to help sustain something. Dealing with creative endeavors. Some of y'all is really doing the work, understanding how y'all restrict things, dealing with the inner child. So, Saturn here gets very serious about utilizing what it has here to build, which is creative awareness. What can you put on the stage? We got to use that. We got to market that. We got to advertise that. So you would think Saturn in this house, this phase has a lot to do with this person learning how to market and advertise their talent. It ain't restricting. It might come off self-restricted at times in this phase, Scorpio sunrise, when it comes to your creative expression, because you may feel like you may not have all the resources you want at times. But this is a strong, if there's a will, there's a way placement. All water risings is dealing with that, with Scorpio transiting a firehouse. If there's a will, there's a way. Yeah, I don't got the resources to do something creatively, but I'm gonna find a way. The thing I want to create and birth is gonna get birthed. Period. So when we're looking at that, Saturn in the 5th house, right? Saturn in the 5th house, and it's squaring what? It's squaring all these Gemini energies in the 8th house. There's a whole new level of foundation, a whole new system that has to be established when it comes into, your not just your healing, but understanding how, that inner child is involved in this process as well. Scorpio sun rises. To understand how, that inner child, everything that you've been experiencing this past year, when it comes into, structuring and working behind things in a creative expression, placing time, building up the relationship with the inner child, identifying what things often play out as a restriction when it comes into you demonstrating or displaying something you want people to see from expression. These are all the different things you're navigating here, but the 8th house, the Gemini in here is bringing detail to what the roots of some of these things are. So just a lot of revelations around conditioning that hinder creative expression is going to help tighten up Saturn around this time. So Saturn has more of a system, more of an efficient system on how to build and structure or have a better approach towards things dealing with creativity, birthing things, but most importantly, 5th house being seen for it. You're dealing with a lot of 8th house energy. So there's a balance of vulnerability dealing with being seen for something that may be behind the scene right now. All right. Yeah, Scorpio sun risings. It's definitely going to be some situations throughout this phase that is going to push you to, be more open, communicating things that, you probably might be driving yourself crazy, internalizing and learning how to use the communication as a release. All right. And lastly, my neighbor signs. All right. And those is the moon dominance. All right. Taurus and Cancer. So Taurus, all right, we got these energies taking place in your 2nd house. All right, I didn't even get a chance to say happy solar return to all my Tauruses. All right, because I was in my little hiatus. I was over there, hibernating in the temple with the monks. All right, so I hope all my Tauruses, had a fruitful, abundant, prosperous solar return season. Okay, I know a lot of you guys are stepping into all type of new environments around this time. Right now, I know a lot of you guys manifested different situations with breakthrough, the sun passing, Uranus and everything in your personal life. So there's a lot of true expression, a lot of, situations pushing you out to embrace something that your heart is in from a value perspective, a certain creative endeavor, something you want to birth. Might have gotten noticed more for something you really value, got your appreciation. So it's a lot going on with my Tauruses, and I hope y'all really enjoyed y'all season. All right. Earthshaker 9th avatar. What's going on, brother? All right, man. Seeing my people. Okay. So when we looking at Gemini, all this energy taking place in the second house, you know, value the way you think about relationships is going to change. The way like you value relationships is going to change right now. Now we do have Venus at home. We got Jupiter expanding Gemini in the second house. So this is opportunity in this space to get a real closer to people who share, you know, your same values, you know, things dealing with any seeds planted around this time. A new moon in the second house is always so fire, but we got a new moon exaltation here, and we got Venus home here. Lord have mercy. We got Venus home and a new moon exalted here. Taurus, you got it good right now. All right. So look, manifesting power is at large right now, but it's in Gemini. So Taurus, you have to be very intentional about the desired state you want your partnerships to be in around this time. And you also want to be very intentional about what type of environment you want to create around things that you value. So you have a certain business endeavor, you have a certain creative endeavor you value. How do you want that environment you working, building, watering, and nurturing that thing to look like? What type of system is that going to be when we bring Saturn into it? Saturn is squaring from what's this? The second house. Saturn is squaring from the fourth house. No, second house. It's squaring from the fifth. Wait, I'm bugging. We talking about Taurus sun risings. It's squaring from the 11th. Yeah, it's squaring from the 11th. I'm tripping. So Saturn's in the 11th house right now, Taurus sunrise. So a lot of y'all this past year, there's been a lot of new enterprise and marketing, a lot of new ways to understand how to bring your values, bring something you're building into the collective, into the external realm, relate it, build it, monetize it, you know, different functions of how reality is receiving things with values through different platforms and environments. So it's been a lot of that, a lot of studying, a lot of, you know, you putting a lot of these different work processes under the telescope, while you know Saturn's in your 11th house, Saturn's home in the 11th house. So it definitely has a strong influence to bring you closer to community that could help provide more stability with things that you're building and structuring. All right, that's very strong. There is a really strong transit to milk these next 3 years. They're going to bring a lot of sense of stability towards your partnerships. There's going to be strong karma around, you know, who you participate with not being too open. You're definitely going to have to be different examples of different phases to learn how to place restrictions and boundaries in the external realm. But Saturn thrives doing that in the external realm. But depending on your placements, you may you're a Taurus sun rising, but you might have some other places that might make you really, really open. You know, maybe a Taurus sun, but you're a Pisces moon rising. You you know, but whatever the case may be, having Saturn squared from the 11th house to the second house, this is a time for you to embrace taking second house values and networking them, building them, structuring them in the 11th house. There may be certain situations that you see other people. So this is going to be really important right now to Taurus sun rising. Maybe something you really value about structuring or building. And you may be seeing other people go through certain experiences, dealing with restrictions, dealing with issues and blockages with that same very thing you're trying to build. And in their personal experiences, they're dealing with that in the 11th house. That cannot be right now something that, you know, makes you refrain from, you know, cultivating something with your second house talent, something you're good at, something that you're gaining awareness of right now with all these energies in your second house. It just can't, you just manifest the solar return time. You're this value sign. So your personal evolution, your solar return already is always going to play as a flashlight, as reaffirming your true values, things that you're good at, and how that could bring stability to yourself and the world in some type of shape or form. But then that was in your second house area of life. So now Gemini is what increases the ability to interact that. So seeing Saturn in that 11th house is definitely showing that there's a lot of circumstances you being pushed to embrace networking, relating it, standing on business, literally, like letting them know this is my business, this is my brand, this is something I'm invested in building. Yeah, this, that, and third. This is how you contact me. This is how we could connect. This is what we could build. This is who I'm trying to build with. Like, this is very important right now. All right. Sister 2B Monique, what's going on? Good sister. Good to see you too. All right. So that's what we got going on there. Taurus sun rises. The ruler Venus is at home, though. The ruler Venus is at home. It just left home in your sign. It was detriment in the first house, but it just left home. So it just got a whole new good like spark. It got to come home, change his outfit. You know, she got to do her makeup again. She got to, you know, do her hair again and whatnot. Pick what shoe she want to wear. All right, let me pop back out. Go back traveling the rest of the houses. Now she in the second house. Now she home. So she gets to feel secure about how she just got herself together in the first house. You know, she gets to see people value her. You know, she got to see that manifest opportunities. So this is what's going on with you right now, Taurus sun rising. Allow yourself to be seen for your value. That momentum carries on from the first house, but it's more interaction energy. It's more interaction energy. A lot of times your brand, what you're building, can speak for itself, Taurus, but this is a phase right now that people may be more curious, ask more questions, and you want to be able to articulate, relate what you got going on with your building. All right. Did I say where Saturn is squaring from? Yes, I just did. 11th house. And last but not least, my Cancers. My Cancer suns and risings. Last but not least, for the neighbor signs. All right, Cancer, we got all this energy going on in the 12th house, man. Ooh, we got Jupiter home. Jupiter just got home in the 12th. Jupiter just got home in the 12th. Venus exalted in the 12th. Cancer, sit your you might be having too much fun right now. Cancer sun rising. You might be having too much fun. It might sound like I'm a hater, but I might just be, you know, the person that's going to come through and help you slow you down before you get in something crazy here. All right, so Jupiter in the 12th house is ready to bring expansion. This home, you're like, ooh, yes, I get to process my experiences, all my travels from the first house. I get to process all my experiences and connections with others and build philosophies. I get to gain new understanding in life from my connection with others on a deeper spiritual level. I get more hands-on experiencing and dealing with experimentation amongst my belief system, some magic, some rituals, some candle magic here, you know, seeing the significance to things dealing with spiritual practices and exercises. I get to really understand the significance to detachment, isolation, and really have more self-conversation with me in spirit. You know, I'm getting closer to the voice of God. Woo, Jupiter in that 12th is powerful. But it's in Gemini. It's in Gemini. All right. So it could be a little confusion during this phase with Jupiter in this house at times, with people imposing their ideologies on you, having a critique about your ideologies. You have to allow life. You have to allow Jupiter to decompress its experiences in this phase in the 12th house for you to accumulate your own belief systems, for you to develop your own belief systems about things here. All right. That's always the case with Jupiter, especially when it comes into this home spaces. All right. Now we got Venus exalted here and it's going to be conjunct the new moon in the 12th house. So you already know, man, Venus could lose its mind here, gains a lot of access to what makes it feel good. It gains a lot of access to what makes it feel good. All right. And it has to look in the mirror when it comes into its outlook on things dealing with love, mating, intimacy, how 12th house past, how past experiences has affected its ability or how it goes about making connections and looking at making connections. So there's been a lot of, you know, that influence going on with the sun and Venus being around each other. So a lot of self-reflection amongst the subconscious space with what you truly value, how you value yourself, realizing like, damn, I allowed myself to stay in that partnership for that long when it got ugly. Damn, I realized I didn't value myself in that circumstances. Why is that? What beliefs, what relationship beliefs, what relationship standards, what relationship potential was I holding on to? What triggers all this different type of healing and spiritual surgery going on in the subconscious with all this activity here. So it's really important whose perspectives, who you connecting and communicating and exchanging this information and this dialogue with, you know, these perspectives with when it comes into your healing process, when it comes into you bringing more awareness to things going on with your subconscious, you know. And nonetheless, it is new moon time with exalted Venus. Jupiter wants to explore, expand this house. This house is dealing with experience and Venus exalted here. So you can be in a very excited space of potential energy. 12th house is still strong potential energy. We want to make sure there's a system being laid down. That's where Saturn comes in, squaring from the 9th. That's where Saturn comes in, squaring from the 9th house. Because right now, Saturn in the ninth house is making sure you're serious about things dealing with spiritual development, and you're seeing the significance into, how experiences in life are helping you build reality, whether an experience was restricting you was feeling resistance in the experience, whether you profited in some type of shape in life in a certain experience. Saturn's bringing the karma to the ninth house, helping you understand how your knowledge, your wisdom, your experiences, or your pursuit for knowledge can be used as tools to help you build stability. And when you have certain gems and tools in the name of knowledge and they're not being applied, you're going to experience this restriction or this setback because you act like you don't know something that I know you know, and you need to learn to act like you're going to use something that you know. All right. So Saturn gets it. Saturn, it got that type of effect in them expression, them firehouses. It's like, listen, you got creativity, you got awareness, you got vision, you got insight. That has to be a tool. That has to be a tool here. So we got that going on in the ninth house here in Pisces, especially. So a lot of that building is going around your experience of understanding, connecting with others, interacting with others, and also getting more hands-on. Strong placement right now. Who we talking about? Cancer, Sun, rises. Also strong placement right now. Saturn in Pisces in the ninth house. A lot of Cancers are getting close to getting more hands-on and experimenting with spirituality, ritual work. Now, a lot of witches being born under this phase. But when we looking at all of this taking place in the in your 12th house, all right, this is the load up right before your season, all right, conclusion to the spring. So certain things, certain dormant ideas, all right, once again, potential energy is very big. So this new moon process is more so you this energy pushing you to be to more in a centered space about what should be valued in your partnerships. Cancer, Sun, rising, how to go about interacting or relating things that you're trying to birth out this space to. All right. Well, there's your healing process, something going on in your personal life, things going on with creative endeavors, things eventually, you want to connect to others. You got to be very conscious about who you even share these ideologies and who you even build with these things upon. Be careful of not dealing with any illusion energy. This is why, once again, seeing the reality to how you're participating with others, because you could get thrown a lot of illusion energy and a lot of excitement energy, based off of you connecting off potential with somebody, right? But this person may not really have the credentials or the resources or the mentality you're looking for with something dealing with partnership energy or building something. So just all huge levels of discernment when it comes into interaction, Cancer, Sun, rises. Okay, but love matters is definitely going to be heavy in your personal life. All right, we got Venus conjunct the ruler of the moon. All right, so there's about to be a new spark in your love life in some type of shape or form, Cancer, Sun, rising. So if your value system is a negative space, you ain't valuing yourself the way you should be valuing yourself. You can deal with extreme situations this time. Really want to whoop somebody ass because you just not realizing, like, wait, hold the fuck up, I'm really not valued in this shit. Or you could deal with situations right now where you have manifest all different type of breakthroughs because you're seeing the potential, you're seeing all the green flags for potentials for harmonious connections or harmonious results playing out in your partnerships. We know you're dealing with comfort zone energy, right? You're dealing with big comfort zone energy, and even though Saturn is squaring the energies in 11th, it is trining you. AKA right now in the midst of different things you're experiencing with relationship activity, you have the gift of being able to have a certain calm of what you connect to and how things trigger your subconscious and affect your emotional and mental well-being, and being able to be in tune with that vibration to guide you with making, practical decisions on how you build with others, or how you create responsibilities and obligations working with others, really learning to read the room around this phase and trust your intuition. One of the most intuitive signs in the Zodiac. There's by the way, speaking of Cancer, there's something I thought about earlier today of why Cancer is the most powerful sign, but I'm going to save that for a video. So, that's what's going on with that energy right there. Cancer, Sun, rising. I think this is a space where, once again, back into that 12th house illusion-like space, all this relationship interaction taking place in your 12th house, make people show you the tangible, realistic influence in something they want to create with you, because people could be blowing a lot of fucking smoke around this placement. People could be trying to speak to your sweet spot. It's new moon conjunct Venus in your 12th. So there's a lot of exciting energies going on there. So different external forces could be trying to present something that makes something look good, make something look like a thrill to get you to participate with it. And you just want to make sure if it's, that endeavor or whatnot, environment, partnership is, you know, something that your intuition is also in alignment with. Your rulers conjunct these placements, so it's going to be a strong energy dealing with reading your comfort zone. It's almost going to be impossible to ignore your intuition around this time. A lot of Cancer sun risings will feel the need to probably regulate the pace of your relationships too, and any form of overindulgence too. Any form of overindulgence, because Venus is in the 12th. So right now it may be, depending on Cancer, how this Cancer sun rising native deals with just, you know, power and control issues, attachment energies. If there's something that Cancer sun rising is heavily overindulging into right now, person, place, or thing, this thing can just become a real nuisance or feel very frustrating dealing with this cycle of attachment around this time. And this could be a new phase to kind of overcome that. All right. All right, Cancer sun risings family, I missed y'all. I loved y'all. All right, another church service in the book is a new moon week. All right, I'm gonna be in tune with y'all all week. We're gonna make sure keep the church active, guys. All right, there's a lot going on. Like I said, there's a lot I want to talk about. I knew I could have done it in one church service, but it just felt so motherfucking good to see y'all faces, to pick up y'all energy, see y'all interacting, see y'all walking the aisle, seeing the green suits and dresses, seeing the blue suits and dresses. All right, I hope everybody has been well this past month and a half, 2 months, however long it's been since we had church service. Okay, but nonetheless, like I said, a lot of energies to keep things light, and a lot of us are realizing how valuable our thoughts and ideas really are. So hopefully this, you know, church service help y'all to understand how to navigate these themes throughout the week. All right, you know, this is a little bit out of the norm for me. I'm usually running behind on new moon, full moon energy. We be going about that bitch 20. All right, y'all. New moon peak in 6 hours. Gemini first. All right. So this was actually felt good getting this out a couple of days before. All right, family. But once again, I just miss y'all, love y'all. And just to, you know, reemphasize what I was saying earlier, before I got into the energies, just seeing how y'all showed up in my life when the brother was going through some distress means a lot. And I love every single one of y'all from the bottom of my heart, dead mother ass. All right. So with all that being said, I'm going to catch up with y'all later, family. All right. Peace. Take care.